Ladies and gentlemen, episode number 518, live. Welcome to Wrestle Wars Genesis, and this is, of course, the final evening before our next big SPV of 2023 TWA Revolution right around the corner. We're actually going to talk about that in just a few moments, but we have an absolutely fire nine-match event card tonight, and not one championship on the line, but it is going to be an absolute throw ride. A smoking hot evening. Great matches starting from the tone center of the evening all the way to the main event of the night is going to be absolute fire, so you don't want to miss a single solitary second of the show. We also have some dirt sheets to look at, some information I'm quite entertained by, like, for instance, Matt Riddle, and we'll get to that in a few moments as well, but Matt Riddle, of course, will be in the dirt sheets tonight. I'm sure most of you know why, but we are going to talk about it. There's a new trademarked ring name, apparently, from WWE, and I was talking to the great Glenola before we get on the broadcast, and we just learned that Adam Bomb apparently filed a trademark for a new name, which is odd because I didn't even know he was still alive, so there you have it. But we're going to have a look at that as well. I do have two lists tonight. I couldn't find any one that I actually like. We've gone through a lot of lists. People need to start writing better lists. But the two lists I do have for you are the top 5 most underrated wrestlers of all time and the top 5 most overrated wrestlers of all time. So that's going to be interesting to look at. But before we get started, I'm going to open up my dashboard and we're going to invite the great Glenola from the Glenolaverse onto the broadcast. He's here ready to roll with the punches tonight. Glenola, what's new and exciting? Or maybe we lost Glenola. Not sure. Okay. You still there, Glenola?
Yeah, I was muted.
Oh, you were muted. Well, hey.
It's been a while since I've done that.
I mean, I forgot to drop my mic bar earlier, because this one you have to move the mic bar to mute, and my old one, I could just use a button. I don't have that option on this headset. So when you first get on, I'm like, where's my goddamn button? Oh yeah, right, I don't have one. So, but anyways, I am going to open up the dashboard here before we get too far in.
Oh, so you didn't get to hear the shout-outs?
No, I did not hear it. Well, I mean, I see it. Our true appreciation already starting with the villainy. We haven't even got into a list yet. Yo, Sir Jack is in the house. What's going on, Jack? It's new and exciting, my friend. Welcome in. So, yeah, very, very good card tonight. And again, no championship matches, but it is going to be a thrill ride all night long. We've got some junior champions taking on some YTD Academy champions. We've got some faction wars going on, tag team matches. They're going to be absolutely fantastic. So it's going to be a really great night of in-ring action and a great way to close out our final push week, which of course takes us right into TWA Revolution. Now, TWA Revolution originally was supposed to be tomorrow night. However, well, work decided to be work, and they decided they were going to book me in for Monday morning when I was originally supposed to be off. So, I work Monday morning now. So what we're going to do, I'm off Tuesday. We are going to go live Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. TWA Revolution. It's going to be a 14-match card. It's going to be absolutely ginormous. A thrill ride all night long with some of the best action you'll ever see in an E-Fed. We are the very best in fantasy wrestling excellence, bar none, period, and we're going to prove that come TWA Revolution. Then, of course, Glenola. More exciting news, because from there, we have two things to do, right? You and I are already talking. I think Joe Link and a few of us were talking already. It's just about time, I believe, to get our next Hall of Legends show going. We have to get a Hall of Legends. Yeah, I think it's about time. It's been... How many months has it been now?
That's been 5 or 6, I think.
Has it been 5 or 6? Yeah. So we need it. So, and the reason we're doing 2 in 1 years because we went 3 years without even having an award show, without having a Hall of Legends, and that's because we wanted to build history, wanted to build a legacy. And now that we've done that, we had our first round of inductees, but we had some that weren't inducted right away, but they are going to be inducted this go around. And I can't wait for that because they're very deserving streamers, subscribers, followers, Fam Jam members, longtime supporters. So it's going to be an exciting evening to induct some more people into our Hall of Legends.
Oh, yeah.
But we also have... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, we also... It's time for another appreciation show. Yeah, and I say we leave it to the community to vote, but I nominate Archer for appreciation.
I was actually thinking about a Joe Link appreciation night.
Oh, definitely. He deserves that.
So Joe Link just finished creating a new Clash of the Titans logo, as you can see. He's also created a TWA Revolutions logo for me, and he's working on our brand new TWA logo. We've had the same TWA logo for quite some time. It still says TAV Wrestling Alliance. I want to have a TWA logo. So, he's working on that for us. So, I mean, he's done a lot for us, though. He's been a fantastic mod. He's been a subscriber.
Not to mention, yeah, you go into the Discord and you look at all the things he took. The magazine covers, the those amazing match moments, shocking moments,
match of the week. I mean, he has been absolutely busy working. When he's got free time, he's working around the clock to try and improve not just our Discord, but all the information that we have available from our past and our present as far as matchups go. Like Lanola said, we got the shocking moments. We've got, I think one of them is memorable rivalries, isn't it? Or
legendary rivalries.
Legendary rivalries. That's it. I mean, he's got a lot going on, and he's busy building his own legacy as an eFed, both on Twitch and YouTube. So, absolutely an honor to know Joe Link. I mean, I can't thank him enough for all he does.
There's no way we could do what we do without Joe Link in the chat, keeping track of the balls.
Exactly. Joe Link is right on the same level as the Turret Man now. Because Mr. T used to do so much for us. I miss Mr. T. I can't wait till he gets back to streaming. I mean, he's been going through some things in life, so I mean, it's life is more important. And once he gets everything figured out and resolved, and it's not bad life things. I believe it's mostly to do with work these days. He's got, I believe he's got a new project he's working on of some sort, something that's he's wanted to do for a long time, I believe, or something like that. And whatever else is going on, but I mean, once he gets back, it'll be nice to see him back in the seat and watching him play some Kirby or something.
But that doesn't mean, we can't miss him as a community. I mean,
Exactly. I mean, how many logos did he create for us, right?
Shit.
A lot.
I know.
Right? He was a moderator, so he's been a long-time supporter. He still watches the VODs. Him and I still talk on Discord. So he's fairly up to date with what's going on, even. So there's that too. So Mr.
Since he watches the VOD, I got to do this.
Mr. T. Yeah, the great Mr. T showed him. For a while, I don't know if he still does. He used to have that actually as a sound alert. Initially, it was a free one, but, some of us may have used it a time or two, and he decided to make it, so you had to use, what do you call it? I always forget the name of it.
Channel points.
Channel points.
He uses.
We call them gems, and we've done it for so long.
We don't
not
do
channel
gems.
points, not channel points, but
bits.
Bits. Thank you. I always think of gems. I don't. How long has it been since we've called them bits? You know what I mean? So for some reason, I can never remember the name.
Shiny.
Mr. XG15, what's going on, my friend? Welcome into episode number 518. Thank you for the follow. We appreciate you. Hope you enjoy the show and the community. We're just starting to get things underway. We haven't even got to our first match of the evening. We haven't even got to our first dirt sheet list yet, so you're here at a good time. But what's new and exciting, Mr. XG15? What's going down? How are you? Sir Jack says, I nominate Team Joe Link. Yeah, well, that's exactly what we were literally just talking about. I don't know if you heard that part.
Yeah.
But he's done so much for our community and for the channel and for YouTube. So I think it is only fitting that we have a... I appreciate Joe Lincoln evening.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, the Archer appreciation, though, I do believe we should, show appreciation to Archer for everything he does. But he's aware of that, but he's also aware that I'm just being an asshole.
Jack, so you obviously missed that part of the conversation. So tomorrow night was the original slotted time for TWA Revolution. But I was supposed to be off on Monday, but work changed that on me. So now I have to work first thing in the morning on Monday. So there's no way I'm running a show Sunday night and have to go back into work on Monday morning. So what I'm going to do is we're going to run it at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday evening, and I am off Tuesday. They're not taking that from me. But I will protest. I won't show up either. So there's that. But so it is now Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for TWA Revolution. Yeah. So. But no, yeah, we're definitely. You're not wrong. We're definitely. It's time for another appreciation. I think Joe Link should probably be the next one we do an appreciation evening for.
Yeah.
And then of course, not only do we have our next Hall of Legends show to plan for, but we also have our 3rd annual Halloween Havoc show. 3rd annual. That's kind of fucking weird, isn't it, when you think about it? It'll be our 3rd year in a row doing a Halloween Havoc show. I'm very excited.
It's funny. It's the third annual, and it's one of 3 shows that have made it the 3rd annual.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, because the next after that will be it'll be TWA Slammiversary.
Yep.
It'll be the 3rd annual show for that as well. Bash at the Beach was the other one.
Mm-hmm.
We literally only have 3 stream previews in the history of TWA that stood the test of time. We kind of tried out different stream preview names, and I mean, they were all great, don't get me wrong, they were all a lot of fun, but the best ones were the ones that we kept. We are looking to, build upon. Did we not just have a 2nd annual show of some sort as well? I'm trying to think.
Archer should just
We
make
might
a pro
have.
wrestling company
I feel like we might have.
with AEW so we can
Archer should just make a pro wrestling company to compete with AEW so we can call Elijah Archer chairman of the board. Yeah, fuck that. You know what? I would actually use that name as a gimmick name too. Why not? I would. I would listen. I'm aging, so I wouldn't actually want to wrestle. But I would love to be part of creative broadcast team. I mean, that would be fantastic. I wouldn't want anything to do with talent relations, really. Maybe as far as, creative coming up with the storylines and matchmaking, but I wouldn't want anything to do with actual talent relations. They can keep that shit. But yeah, I would love to be a part of a broadcast team. And if I had the kind of money where I could create a promotion, I would definitely compete with AEW. I mean, I think anybody can compete with AEW at this point. I think people only watch it now because they become big fans of AEW, and now they're afraid to admit that they're failing, so they still watch.
But I mean, even Jericho saying this last month it's been a lot better.
Yeah.
He didn't say why, but he said AEW has been a lot better this last month.
Well,
I wonder what change occurred in this last month.
I mean, their ratings don't reflect that they're doing better. They actually Collision lost a crap ton of viewership after Punk left. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if Dolph Ziggler ends up in AEW. Because I believe his brother is there, is he not? Pretty sure Ryan Nemeth is in AEW. I'd have to fact check that, but I'm all... Jack, is Ryan Nemeth in AEW? I feel like he is. And I would love to see Nick and Ryan tag team, by the way, so that wouldn't bother me at all. Yo, Dedrick! Redeem World Championship singles match. Well, that'll have to wait until after the stream preview, Dedrick, just so you know ahead of time. Matches are already locked in as far as the stream preview goes. But Redeems will begin again. He is currently with AEW?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, it would make perfect sense, and it's not just because Ryan is there, but he has other friends there as well. So it would be a good spot for him to land. Some people think he lands in Impact, but again, it's a gateway back to the WWE. We all know that Impact Wrestling is heavily watched by WWE these days, much like they used to watch ROH. They still watch New Japan, take talent from them when they can or when they feel they need to, whatever the case may be. But I don't know. I don't know if he goes to Impact. If he does, I'm just going to think that they were looking to repackage him a bit, give him a resurgence, and then bring him back to the roster. I don't know. I don't think he goes to Impact, though. I think he goes to AEW or New Japan. I think one of those two is where he lands. Now, what about Goldberg? Goldberg he is no longer with WWE now, is that right?
I haven't heard that.
Because I can 100% seeing Goldberg sign with AEW. And let's face it, they'll put the world title on him. They will. You know one thing I wish that we had in pro wrestling? And after all these years, right, they're always looking for a way to utilize their legends. Why do we not have a Legends Championship? Is it because TNA did it first? A Legends Championship is a great way to bring legends and Hall of Famers back that are still capable of having a good match, put them in the ring, and create a division out of it. You know, if they don't, and it's not something you would actively do every single week or whatever, but you could do it at every pay-per-view or a few times a year. And have that Legends Championship in circulation, but...
Yeah, it appears that,
Jack says he does not watch AEW. Those are the vibes, Jack. I stopped watching AEW again. I tried, and it was semi... When they first started Collision, things were looking pretty, I mean, they were looking... What's the word I'm looking for? Hopeful, I guess. But, I mean, it's just right back to the same old thing. Same old thing. I don't know. I've done enough ranting on AEW. I'm just not even going to bother. But I don't enjoy their programming.
The new
I like a lot of their talent.
A chance to win a channel redemption of your
I do like a lot of their talent. I just don't really care.
YTV championship matches 0-1.
I don't care for
Play.
Well, I mean, their lack of story.
The greatest, your numbers are
lines that are actually interesting and intriguing.
There are some amazing.
There's a lot of things I don't care for. Again, I could go on all night long, but yeah. So the 079 and 016 are still good. Nobody won it last time, so those numbers are still good. That was actually the first time in quite some time somebody didn't win.
Glenela, your numbers are 3, 5, 4. Good luck, Glenela.
So yeah, so Dedrick, if you're still listening again, I'll just repeat that. Your champ. Make sure you put, or somebody puts that redeem in the redemption section for him.
Good luck, Glenela.
Please and thank you. Before we forget. So that's 2 people that have requested singles matches for the world title: Infinite Oni and of course now Dedrick. Redeems will start again following the stream preview. Our matches are all locked in place as far as TWA Revolution Monday night. So we've got junior champions cashing in. It's going to be an interesting evening. An interesting evening.
And it does appear Goldberg is not under contract this time.
Because I'm pretty sure a couple days ago I saw something about him potentially showing up in AEW. You know, I could legitimately see that happening. And again, they'll put. He's not just a former WWE superstar, but a WCW superstar. He's, for whatever reason, still a big name in wrestling. Again, I don't dislike Bill Goldberg, but I've never been the biggest fan of his. To me, he was always just a Stone Cold replacement or substitute or whatever you want to call him for WCW. I'd say ripoff, but he wasn't even that. You can't call him a ripoff. He didn't do this. Well, he didn't do anything that Stone Cold did. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Kick ass.
Except for wear the same tights, and he was bald. So, yeah. 835 unlucky, 354 unlucky, 155 unlucky. I'm actually gonna play and just see what happens. 206.
The Archerverse,
Unlucky.
your numbers are 206. Good luck, the Archerverse. There are some amazing and fun channel rewards to choose from.
386 also unlucky. So,
play.
no jackpot win for me
your
today.
Numbers are 3, 8,
I would like to
6.
see what superstar
Good luck,
I am,
the
though.
Archerverse. There are some amazing and fun channel rewards to choose from if you are skipping the rest.
Beth Phoenix.
Superstar.
Of course I'm Beth Phoenix.
Today, the Archerverse is Beth Phoenix.
At least it's not Ruby Soho. It's funny the amount of people that like Ruby Soho. I was never the biggest fan of Ruby Soho.
Superstar.
I do like Beth Phoenix.
Today,
I do like Beth
Cold.
Phoenix. I don't want to be Beth Phoenix. You are Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hell yeah. All right. Well, we may as well dive into the dirt sheets and see what's going on, seeing how we're already
Hello
looking
there.
information up anyway. Let's see. So I'm going to start with Matt Riddle being released by WWE. Because that's probably one of the biggest things in the headlines right now as far as dirt sheets go. So this is WrestlingNews.co by Paul Davis. So Matt Riddle has been released by WWE. Riddle announced on Twitter, or X, I still call it Twitter, I do not care, that he is no longer with the company. His release comes after an airport incident at JFK in New York where he claimed that a police officer sexually assaulted him. Riddle included a photo of the officer and later deleted the post. Police say that they were unaware of such an incident, and TMZ reported that they were called because of someone, Riddle, causing a disturbance. They said someone, but then they got in brackets Riddle. Causing a disturbance while deplaning. Police say that Riddle's claim had led to an internal investigation into the matter. Meanwhile, Riddle has not appeared on the last 2 episodes of Raw, and there were questions about his future with the company. He confirmed his exit on a post on Twitter that you can read by going to Twitter. Or if you come to the article, there's a link below. And he said, just wanted to inform everyone, this is a quote, by the way, from Matt Riddle, just wanted to inform everyone that I'm no longer with WWE. Thank you for the memories and opportunities. Also, thank you to all the fans for the support and love you give me every time I go out to the ring. See you all soon. See you all soon. No. I mean, is he going to try and get back into MMA, maybe? That's got to be a door that he left open. I mean, he was a good fighter. It's just you weren't allowed to have cannabis, right? You couldn't have marijuana and fight. Where now it's legalized in a lot of places for different reasons. So I don't know. Maybe that's something he can get around now. I don't know. I mean, Nate Diaz seems to do it. So we'll see what happens there. Or does that mean maybe he's going to AEW or New Japan? Who knows? All I do know is he needs to work on himself. He needs to fix his life before he becomes the next Jeff Hardy. Because that guy, he's talented. It's a shame. He's talented. He really is. Good in-ring performer. I mean, he needs to work on his mic skills. He still sounds like a teenage stoner that's laid on the beach getting stoned all day. So he needs to fix his microphone skills a little bit. But he's very talented in the ring. I can't knock that. But it's everything else. There's been enough problematic and troubled wrestlers. We don't need more, and I'm sure that's exactly what not just WWE, because they were kind of condoning everything, but TKO Holdings Group and the UFC are not going to want that kind of attention. Especially if he's making false claims against security guards and police officers. They're not going to want to deal with that. So I think they should have already released him before, especially after all those text messages were posted online. The things he was saying to different women. To me, he's a womanizer. I feel like he, I don't know. He needs to work on himself. I'll just leave it at that. We don't need another Jeff Hardy, because there's another guy that one of the best of all time, but he had so many problems and refused to actually apparently deal with them. Because, he went to AEW, and Glenola and I and whoever else, probably Christian Cool at the time, we all said the same thing's going to happen there. It's too soon to bring him into AEW. They should have left him in a healing process and let him clear his mind and focus on himself. A year or 2 years, a year or two down the road, then bring him in. But
and maybe, and I say this just because of the success he's shown, I would love to see him get involved with DDP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy get in there with DDP, with Jake the Snake.
Agreed.
You know, because you look at what DDP has accomplished. Jake.
For a lot of people.
You know, Scott Hall.
Yeah.
You
Right?
know, just the two of them by themselves. You think about their past and everything they've done, and he's turned their lives around.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I 100% agree. I think DDP would be a perfect person to turn Jeff Hardy's career on. Yo, Lionson Escanor! Actually, Jeff Hardy was an alcoholic, but also addicted to drugs.
Mainly pain pills, if I recall.
Yeah, I believe they were prescription drugs, but nonetheless, he had a pill popping problem in addition to the alcohol. So yeah, but it's unfortunate though, because again, he's one of the best of all time. He could high fly, he could get in there and mix it up with the big guys, and
I only knew
he
about
was.
the alcoholism.
I mean, he wasn't the greatest technical wrestler on the planet, but he was still pretty good in the. He could tell a story in that ring, regardless. Microphone skills obviously were fine, but I mean, some of the matches he was in, he put his body on the line many, many nights to entertain the fans and to make sure we all got a thrill ride out of the match he was involved with. So, you only knew about the alcoholism? Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah.
Some people don't know everything that he was up to.
I know there was like this one incident in TNA that he was
Surprise,
on
the man
something.
ain't in a
I don't know what he was on. I don't know if they ever
wheelchair.
figured it out. But they actually changed the match in the middle and just told Sting to pin him.
Yeah. Yep. it ended up being one of the fastest. It probably was the fastest match in AEW history, or was it TNA?
TNA.
TNA, yeah. But I mean, again, basically the same type of thing started happening when he was in AEW too. So I mean, and again, like we had said before he even went there, it's a bad idea, and the people that guiding him at the time and pulling him into AEW were supposed to be the closest to him. That itself is troublesome, in my opinion. But surprised the man ain't in a wheelchair. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Not just from all the abuse to his body, but from the amount of prescription pills and alcohol the man was
why don't you shut your mouth
consuming.
and pretend like this is an AA meeting?
In the words of Samoa Joe, why don't you shut your mouth and pretend like this is an AA meeting? Yeah. But it would be nice if Jeff Hardy got things together and came back and was put into the Hall of Fame. I mean, I think the Hardy Boys are in the Hall of Fame, aren't they? Can we check that out? I can't remember if they were inducted or not. I feel like they might have been. But I'm not sure Jeff is in as a singles wrestler, though. I don't think he's in as a... Yeah, I think the Hardy Boys are... But I don't think he's in as a singles wrestler, and he really should be. He likely really should be. But anyways, we'll see if that happens down the road. Who knows? I have hopes for Jeff Hardy still. I don't know why. I guess I have a soft spot for him just like WWE did. But I mean, even they had to cut ties eventually. You know, they offered him a stint in rehab to work on himself. He turned it down. They said, all right, we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Roman and Escanor.
Okay, so here's an
X.
article from WrestlingNews.co by Andrew Ravens. It says Dominic Mysterio addresses Mustafa Ali's WWE departure that nixed their NXT No Mercy match. I did wonder about that. So, Mustafa Ali asked for his WWE release on Thursday morning, something the company granted before they made a round of talent cuts on the main roster and in NXT. Ali had been slated to challenge NXT North American champion Dominic Mysterio for the title at the NXT No Mercy event on Saturday, September 30, 2023, at the Mechanic Banks Arena in Bakersfield, California. Mysterio was asked about Ali's decision while speaking on the In the Click podcast, and here are some of the highlights. So about his release, the quote is, "Yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation that very talented people have to go through situations like this. At the end of the day, it's out of our control. We just do whatever we can to put our best foot forward, but as far as No Mercy goes, I'm just going to have to wait and see who my opponent will be." That was a quote from Dominic Mysterio, if anybody didn't catch that. But so, Wrestling Dragon Lee on Monday's WWE Raw, he said, "No, I Wouldn't say I'm intimidated by Dragon Lee. I've dealt with guys like Dragon Lee my entire life. Growing up in this lucha libre style of wrestling, especially someone who tries to be like my dad. So you can say I have some experience with it, so I don't think I'm intimidated by him at all. I've already beaten him, unfortunately. He has also had a victory over me, but it was a fluke victory. I have a clean victory over him, so I don't think I'm really intimidated by it. And I see myself walking out as still the NXT North American champion. Well, is that the replacement then for? Is that going to be his Ali's replacement? I wonder, Dragon Lee. I don't know. Here's something else from Andrew Ravens, WrestlingNews.co. It's the identity of a recently trademarked WWE ring name. So WWE filed for several trademarks with the United States Patent and Trademark Office this week, including Jada Parker, Global Localization, Out the Mud, and OTM. The ring name is listed for entertainment services such as wrestling exhibitions and performances by professional wrestlers and entertainers. At the time of the filing, it wasn't clear who this star was, but that changed as it belongs to Tiana Caffey, who used the name at Friday's NXT Live event in Fort Pierce, Florida. She wrestled a match where she lost to Kalani Jordan. Parker has since updated her Instagram account and shared footage of the match on her Instagram stories. Before signing with WWE, Parker played soccer at LSU. She previously worked 3 live event matches under her real name, losing all 3 in March, August, and earlier this month. Alright, so that's interesting.
I don't see the Hardys.
You don't see the Hardys on there? Really?
No, I'm at ProWrestlingFandom.com or ProWrestling.fandom.com looking at the Hall of Fame, and let's see.
Maybe it was TNA that inducted the Hardy Boys into their Hall of Fame.
It might be. You got the Dudley Boys in 2018.
Yeah, I knew the Dudleys were in. They actually just got signed to a Legends contract,
too. The new jackpot number for a chance to win a channel redemption of your choice.
All right, well, while we're looking for information
the number to win a
and digging up more dirt sheets, and before we get to any list, we may as well get the show on the go. Time to get episode number 518 rocking and rolling with the first match of the evening. So let's turn and burn. First match of the night. Fatal 4-way, best 2 out of 3 falls matchup. And look at the Vixen villains we have here. We've got Lila Frost, Mary Fuller, Briar Rose, and Melissa Archer all ready to go to battle. And again, if anybody that wasn't already aware, this is the final evening of our final push week. This is the last show before the next big SPV of 2023, TWA Revolution, and that is going to be an absolute thrill ride, so make sure you make that show Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be, I can't remember if it was 12 or a 14 match card, but it is going to be absolutely fire. You don't want to miss it. But this is how we're starting things off. It's our tone setter of the evening. Lila Frost, Mary Fuller, Briar Rose, and Melissa Archer all going to battle. Fatal 4-way, best 2 out of 3 falls matchup. Now, Glenola, you're fairly familiar with everybody. I don't know how familiar with Lila Frost. She is fairly newer to the roster, but she's been on a winning streak. She has not lost a singles matchup since her debut. Mary Fuller has won some and lost, I think she's only lost 1 matchup. I could be wrong about that. Might be 2. But again, situations where you lost the match but looked good while losing. So it didn't really hurt her all that much, and of course she hasn't looked back since. She's got a couple wins under her belt. Briar Rose was undefeated in singles competition and is now the Pure Wrestling Champion for YTD Academy Live. And we all know Melissa Archer came in and went straight to the top of the mountain, won the Women's World Championship at one time. So now she's looking to get back into the spotlight. And I think this is going to be a fantastic matchup. I mean, if I was betting on this matchup, however, as much as we all love Mrs. Archer, and I know Lila Frost is on a roll, Mary Fuller looking to further her career and get into the title picture, but Briar Rose has been absolutely phenomenal, and I would actually expect that she might pick up the big W in this match. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
You know what? It's like I said, I was actually really leaning to Melissa Archer, but I just can't get over Briar Rose's just success.
Yeah.
I got to go with the Briar Rose.
Yeah, me too. Got to go with Briar Rose. Love the other three. They're fantastic in-ring competitors, but Briar Rose has been a savage animal in that ring. Well, let's find out if we're right. I mean, we all know Glenola aren't always correct. I mean, Glenola does much better at the betting lines than I do. I mean, at least he wins at least 75% of the time, where I'm more like, 10, 5, 0 some nights. So never take my advice. If you want advice, you go to Variance.
Mad Chatty.
You go. Mad Chatty is the perfect person to go to. That guy gets so many betting lines right that it's crazy. He could own the channel by now, the amount of points he'd have by correctly betting on to. So.
But here we go. How much he actually bet, I think he just liked to pick a winner. I don't think he ever really bet that much.
I have 8-9K.
All right, here we go. First match of the night, Fatal 4-Way, best 2 out of 3 falls matchup. Let's turn and burn. Showtime and go time, Glenola.
While looking at the Hall of Fame, I saw a name here from this year that I must have forgotten got inducted. And I actually think it's awesome, even though some people are going to disagree with me.
Yeah.
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman is on the list?
He is in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he's in the Hall of Fame. I was going to say, I thought he was already in the Hall of Fame. I thought you were suggesting that he was on the list for this year. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
But the reason I think it's so deserved for Andy is that has to be the longest kayfabe in wrestling history.
Yeah. Him and Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, and that's basically, there's like 3 people that were in on it. Lawler, Kaufman, and one of their managers. I don't know if it was, Kaufman's manager or if it was
probably Lawler's.
King's.
But who knows?
Were the only ones that were in on it.
We'd have to look it up because I can't remember.
Up until the movie came out.
That was actually a fairly good movie,
Oh, it was. I love that movie.
Yep, and Jim Carrey was a perfect person to play that role.
He was.
Perfect person.
I love watching the clip. I do it ever so often of the Letterman incident.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I think anybody except Jim Carrey flops that movie.
Yeah.
Because people would just be beside themselves if they didn't find somebody that looked at least similar to Andy Kaufman.
He had the look, and he put it on. I mean, it wasn't your standard Jim Carrey comedy.
It really wasn't.
He became Andy Kaufman.
No, he really did. Yeah, he completely embodied the role. And it might, in my opinion, might be one of his best movies.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, it was called Man on the Moon, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
But I was just scrolling through trying to find the Hardys, and I saw Andy, and I forgot. Somehow I missed it, or I just forgot that he'd gotten inducted.
Well, I knew he was inducted that. Sorry, I thought he was inducted. I thought I remember him being. That's why when you said on the list, I thought you meant they were trying to induct him this year. And I was like, wait a minute, didn't they already do that? But okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. I'm actually going to look it up right now. I don't know if they have a list compilation for anybody being inducted this year.
Probably not yet.
To claim Bobby Furmore in case we
I would a little bit early.
It is a little bit early. I'm gonna check it out anyways. You never know. All right, let's see. Yeah, I don't think so. Now, here's something from PW Mania. James Hetfield. It says Booker T discusses possible inductees for the WWE Hall of Fame for 2024. Yeah, let's see what Booker T thinks. So, two-time WWE Hall of Famer Booker T recently took to an episode of his Hall of Fame podcast where he talked about a number of topics, including who are the potential future opponents for WWE Intercontinental Champion Gunther. Booker T said, Gunther, that dude, you're gonna hate him. LA Knight. So the match was made in heaven, you know what I mean? But that's the guy I see right now that's got the spark behind him, the zeal behind it, to step into that spot. I'm not booking anything. It was as if it was a guy that would be the guy. That's it. Booker T also talked about that didn't really say too much, did it? Booker's very good. I wonder if he does that on purpose. You ever notice how when he's answering a question, he dances around it?
Oh, I'm sure he does it on purpose.
He beats around the bush something awful. Because, I mean, that, first of all, part of that didn't even make sense. But aside from that, he really didn't reveal much there. Booker T also talked about whether WWE should have an ECW Hall of Fame induction ceremony next year in Philadelphia and who he thinks should be inducted into the 2024 WWE Hall of Fame class. Booker responded, no, not at all. Why would they do that? Yeah, I mean, should they induct someone who was actually in ECW, perhaps, that was in WWE? That would be a good idea, but what are you going to do if you induct all these guys? That makes no sense. You know, it makes no sense at all. Paul Heyman, who else? Raven would be a guy that I would, approve. Give me approval. Raven was a hell of a talent, man. One of the guys and he's not wrong. He really was. Raven was he's one of, to me, and I'll be interested to see if he's on one of our lists. Because I think Raven was one of the most underrated superstars of all time. One of them. But it says, one of the guys I watched made me feel a certain way when I watched him from Scotty, the Body, when he was in the Global Wrestling Federation. Get in the ring, too. I mean, you're not going to, say, for instance, nothing's going to stand out for me with Raven, but nothing stands out from a perspective to where I go. Man, this guy needs to work on anything now. This dude was a damn good worker inside the middle of that squared circle, always respected. Scott Levy, that's what I used to call him. So, I mean, he didn't really discuss possible inductees. He discussed possible ECW inductees there. That whole thing.
He would like to see.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I'll be honest, Raven would be amazing. I actually loved Raven in WCW when I first saw him.
Yeah.
And he came out, and he had that energy around him. That it wasn't, sitting there shaking the ropes and doing all this. But when he came out, you could feel it. And then he'd sit in the corner.
Yeah.
But even his sitting in the corner, it built it. It was just like, what is this guy? He drew you in.
I wonder,
the flop.
Yep, the flop, yep.
And it's just like, this guy blew your mind. Because you never knew.
It's true. That was very true.
And then he came out with that Raven's rules set up. I'll tell you what, I played a lot of the WCW Mayhem video game on PS1. And if I had the choice, I used Raven's rules every time.
Here's something a bit laughable, to be fair. Because, I mean, of course. But anyways, it's ringsidenews.com, Felix Upton. It says, AEW may have big interest in Dolph Ziggler after his WWE release. You think? You know what I mean? I mean, that goes without saying, I think.
Well, honestly,
everybody should have an interest in Dolph Ziggler.
Part of me was not a huge fan of Ziggler, but I take nothing away from his talent, his abilities.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the guy.
I actually thought he should have been the next Shawn Michaels a long time ago, but I mean, we knew that wasn't going to happen because they were afraid that he might have been better than Shawn Michaels. In my opinion, that's exactly what happened to him. Because I mean, he's ever been as a good performer in the ring. He's a better wrestler than Shawn Michaels was. You know what I mean? He's great on the microphone. But
hello, Sassy Rabbits. Welcome
Sassy Rabbits, welcome into the show. How you doing?
And there's a swear jar, Archer.
Oh, nice. James West, welcome in. The other person talking. Nice. Anyway, Sassy Rabbit, welcome to episode number 518 here at the Archiverse. This is our final show before our next big SPV of 2023. TWA Revolution is going to be Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is just adding some fuel to the fire before we get to the next big show of the year. And then, of course, we've got a couple other big events going on in the near future. We've got the second ever TWA Hall of Legends show that's going to be... we haven't really locked down a date for that. I mean, Glenola and a few of us will, of course, discuss that as time goes, but... we don't have a date locked in yet. But we are going to be doing the second ever TWA Hall of Legends show. We also have our third annual Halloween Havoc show coming up in the end of October. So a lot going on. Exciting time for anybody in the Archiverse TV community. But welcome in, Sassy Rabbits. Hope you enjoy the show. Enjoy the community. We have one of the best communities in all of Twitch and YouTube. Very loyal, supportive, brilliant people in our community. Great streamers and gamers. We have musicians, artists, all kinds of great people in our community that we are fortunate to have and be part of the Archiverse TV channel. So, both here on Twitch and on YouTube.
Total villains.
All of them. All of them are villains. You'll definitely see villainy around here. Chaos at times. Insubordination in some cases. Depends who you're talking about.
And then you have the co-hosts that are just complete assholes.
Some of them.
And I'm in a swear jar, so have fun.
So, Sassy Rabbit, there is our Discord. I don't know if anybody already dropped it, but that is our Discord. If you want to join the community on Discord, there's everything from our wrestling championship history to our next show to our no-holds-barred chat that we get in there and start talking shit in together. We've got a role-play section under the TWA storyboard. Lots of things to check out. And... here is our YouTube link. Because we also have a live show on YouTube. YTD Academy Live, Clash of the Titans. We've done 31 episodes. And of course we have YTD Dark, where we upload dark matches to YouTube on a weekly basis. So a lot goes on, both here on Twitch and on YouTube. You don't want to miss out. James West says, I got Danhausen as a superstar today. Fantastic. I mean, it could be worse. I got Beth Phoenix. I mean, again, don't get me wrong. I do like Beth Phoenix. I just don't necessarily want to be Beth Phoenix. You know. But anyways. Alright, so let's see what else is going on in the dirt sheets. Actually, we got to finish reading that article. So, and again, it's ringsidenews.com, and it was Felix Upton that wrote the article. So WWE released another crop of talent this week, and many fans were shocked to see Dolph Ziggler's name on that list. John Cena even commented after Ziggler's release, and so did The Rock. It appears that the show-off could have big interest elsewhere. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer mentioned that Dolph Ziggler has a real shot in AEW. He certainly has connections with people within Tony Khan's company. After all, Vince McMahon never saw Ziggler as a huge main event star. And this is a quote. It says, Vince never saw him in the way that other people saw him. Although he did have a good career there, and he made a lot of money, you know, there's more guys like that. Dave Meltzer later stated that it's going to be interesting to see what Tony does with all these guys. It was stated that Mustafa Ali and Dolph Ziggler as two guys that they will probably bring into AEW. That also begs the question, how many former WWE guys that AEW needs at this point? The quote is, I'll put it this way. The first week Dolph Ziggler shows up in AEW, there's going to be a giant pop. But, you know, Does it maintain? What ideas do you have? And he's probably going to want to get paid a good amount of money. He's not going to do it cheap. And that is a good question, right? Because that happens with all the WWE guys, doesn't it? You know, they sign them, they get a big pop, and then they don't move the needle. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Dolph Ziggler has a few friends in AEW, including his own brother. Only time will tell if Tony Khan gives the show off a call, but he will have to wait until his 90-day non-compete clause is over. Of course he has a clause. So what do you guys think? You think Dolph Ziggler ends up in AEW? Do you want to see him in AEW? Or where else would you like to see him, if not for AEW? Let's see. 899, unlucky. Looking for 079 or 016, Jack. Sassy Rabbit says TNA. Well, TNA would be a great place for him. He would definitely become a world champ over there.
079.
Whoa, look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all. The winner of the tone-setting match of the night from Team Mr. Pink Gaming, it is Mary Fuller picking up the big W in the Fatal 4-Way Best 2 out of 3 Falls matchup. Congratulations to Mr. Pink Gaming and, of course, Mary Fuller. That is a big win for Mary Fuller. Lions and Escador said 079 and what? Oh, 079 and 016.
Who wrote the script?
Here is your winner.
079 and 016.
And my smart jar was up quicker than I thought.
Yeah, that tends to happen. That definitely tends to happen. So big win for Mary Fuller. We were wrong, little. I thought for sure that the Savage Beast Briar Rose would have probably taken the big W in that one. I don't know. Interesting. Lion said it's a shame Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar lost to Demolition, but Escanor and Roman squashed D-Generation X. That is very true. That is very true. But Demolition is the winningest tag team in Archerverse history. I believe they've also won the most tag team titles, too. At least as far as world titles go. We have to double check that. But Demolition just recently repackaged themselves. It's been a long time since we saw new attire for Demolition, and they came out looking mean. And, boy, it sure looks like they've been hitting the gym a lot, because they were pumped up.
Escanor held his
They
own
were
against
pumped
the
up.
NWO.
Escanor held his own against the NWO. He did, yeah. He definitely did that. I'm sure Escanor will have many great moments, as will his faction, the War Raiders. But yeah, Escanor and Roman Reigns squashed DX. That was a great moment, I'm sure, for the War Raiders. Sassy Rabbit says Batista maybe come back to WWE. Well, I would imagine he will, because he will be going into the Hall of Fame at some point. It's even been rumored here and there that it might be this year coming for 2024. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out. But
Rabbits, I know you. M-O-G-I.
Sir Jack says, Sassy Rabbits, I know you.
How are ya?
Sorry about that, Sassy Rabbits.
Champions from each respective brand.
Oni Shinobi in the house. What's going on, Shinobi? Welcome in. What's new and exciting, my friend? Welcome to Wrestle Wars Genesis, episode number 518 for TWA. How you doing? Lionston said numbers game was too much for even the mighty Escanor. Yeah, well, you know, the NWO... the NWO tends to use the numbers game to their absolute advantage. They're very good at it. They've been doing it for years and years. They are a tough team to beat.
Sassy Rabbits MHW.
Numbers game. Oh, I already read that. Sassy said, my old name, Ariana Goddess. Sir Jack says, MHW. What is MHW? I'm assuming it's another wrestling promotion.
It has nothing.
It's nothing. Okay. I guess it's nothing, Lanola. All right, here we go. On to the next match of the evening. And here we go. This is going to be a doozy. It is the War Raiders taking on the Weapons of Mass Destruction. 8-man tag to brag elimination style matchup. We got DJ Snow, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, and the mighty Escanor taking on Mnemonics, Fat Lad Mitchell Vaughn, Tony Stone, and D-Rex, the man called Drek from Team Dead Drek. This is going to be a hell of a battle. We've already seen what the War Raiders are capable of when they were in the middle of the ring with two of the finest to ever step foot in the ring. Triple H and Shawn Michaels. D-Generation X got squashed by Roman Reigns and Escanor. Roman Reigns, of course, part of the War Raiders. It's a mighty faction. And tonight, they have their hands full, though, because Weapons of Mass Destruction, also a mighty and formidable faction, multiple-time champions throughout. They are a tough team to beat, both in singles competition, tag team competition, and in faction wars. So this is a very interesting matchup. A very interesting matchup. But Glenola, if you had to throw down money on this next match, would you say the War Raiders, or would you say the Weapons of Mass Destruction?
We also showed how good we were in 2v2v2v2
You know what? I think
match.
I'm gonna go with Weapons.
You're going with Weapons here? All right.
Yeah.
Sir Jack, what about you? Throws brick at Archer. Continue with the show. That was made of rubber, sir. I mean, I ducked, but then it bounced off Glenola, and I was like, that's not real. That's not even a real brick. You're tossing up fake bricks. We don't like that.
Weapons of Mass Destruction.
Weapons of Mass Destruction, there's
getting past them.
no just getting past. That is true. It is a big test for the War Raiders. The other thing is, did they go back to the drawing board? Did they have a team meeting and discuss some of their failures as a unit thus far in the very early stages of their faction? Well, I guess we'll see. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's the second match of the night. Is next. Let's get the show back on the go. It is showtime and go time. 8-man tag to brag elimination matchup. War Raiders versus the Weapons of Mass Destruction. Let's go. All right. Swaps Archer's coffee for decaf. That is grotesque and ghastly, and I would not drink it. I do not like decaf. If I was forced that the only way I could have a coffee was to drink decaffeinated, I would simply stop drinking coffee. It just does not taste the same.
Mm-hmm.
It does not.
Well, why would you want to, honestly, why would you want to drink nasty bean juice if it didn't even have
The following
caffeine?
contest is in
Fair. I mean, I love bean juice, though, but I know a lot of, not everybody does, and that's fine, but I love it.
At a combined weight of
It is liquid, fuel for the belly.
Strength in numbers, it's as simple as that, and a lot of strength on this.
It is
Yeah.
go juice.
Bean juice gives you jet propulsion.
Well, again, it's a natural diuretic. Actually, a certain amount of coffee is fairly healthy. At the rate most people drink it, even the way I used to drink it, not so much. Not so much. All right, so let's see what else is going on. Luke Gooner in the house. What's going on, Luke? And Luke, the broadcast booth is open. If you want to join us, feel free. Lionson says 1,036 pounds. Jesus. I don't think Jesus weighs 1,036 pounds, but whatever. Our team is a little over half a ton.
Luke the Gooner 9.
Sassy Rabbit says, Luke the Gooner, hi brother.
We got Mickey or Gunner.
We got Mickey or Gooner. We got Gooner. Gooner's going to be in a matchup tonight. Mickey James was just in a matchup the other night.
Awesome.
But yeah, the Gooner's going to be in action.
Archer's Army welcomes you to join us on the
Thanks for dropping the Discord there, Sir Jack. I already actually did. I don't know if Sassy Rabbit saw it or not, but I did drop the Discord and the YouTube link.
If only we could go home happy.
All right, so let's see what else is going on in the dirt sheets here.
Of 1,053 pounds.
Weapons of Mass is 1,053, so we got 1,036 versus 1,053. I mean, most of that is probably Fat Lad, to be fair. Sir Jack says, if only we could go home happy.
So over a ton in the ring, LOL. Was playing the Arsenal
All right,
career
so-
in Sports FC24. MOG face with tears of
Yeah,
joy.
I would think that without a shadow of a doubt, we probably will see Dolph Ziggler show up in AEW. Now, he'll be known as Nick Nemeth there. They won't use the Dolph Ziggler name. That's trademarked by WWE. But he will simply he will simply be Nick Nemeth there. And it'd be cool to see Nick and Ryan as a tag team. Because, of course, they're brothers. Oh, what's this?
Elimination tag team match presents a different challenge than these teams.
Oh, that sucks. LA Knight was pulled just before WWE SmackDown after testing positive for COVID-19.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's ringsidenews.com. Felix Upton.
Just vicious, nasty stomp of the arm.
So LA Knight was supposed to be a part of SmackDown this week, but those plans changed. Now we are getting even more information about the situation. We previously reported that LA Knight was set to be part of SmackDown this week. Those plans had to change, as Sean Sapp posted on Twitter to elaborate. Originally, LA Knight was listed as being involved in tonight's contract signing. Knight was listed as a surprise to help John Cena. He was also internally listed as teaming with Cena in a dark match following the show. We're told this was not a Vince McMahon change, it was a medical-related change. And Sean Sapp went on to confirm that LA Knight tested positive for COVID-19. It was confirmed with WWE sources that Knight tested positive just before SmackDown, and he had to leave after that. Fightful has confirmed with WWE sources that those to him that LA Knight tested positive for COVID just before WWE SmackDown and had to leave the building. He was supposed to be involved in the main event segment, wishing him a speedy recovery. Hopefully LA Knight is able to get better from that terrible virus. The COVID-19 pandemic might be over in a lot of ways, but the virus is still out there. But anyways, not much to discuss there. It is what it is. If he's got COVID, he can't be in the building, can't perform. But now we know why he was pulled before SmackDown. Or we will. I forget. SmackDown is recorded still, right? They kept going back and forth there for a while, whether or not SmackDown was live show or recorded. I can't remember what they're doing currently.
Yesterday, NXT fired.
So here's a John Cena match confirmed for Fastlane. And again, this is from ringsidenews.com, Felix Upton. So John Cena doesn't get to come around WWE very often thanks to his busy Hollywood schedule. Now it appears we know what he will be doing at Fastlane. WWE will bring Fastlane for fans 2 weeks from tomorrow, October 7th. We will be here before fans know it, and we know that John Cena's match for Fastlane will be now. During WWE SmackDown this week, WWE booked John Cena and AJ Styles versus Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa for the next premium live event. They didn't get to follow through with the contract signing for that match because the Bloodline attacked AJ Styles backstage. But the match is still apparently on, even if AJ Styles can't wrestle in the match. As of this writing, John Cena's tag team match is the only contest booked for WWE's next premium live event. For more on this story and many more, please stay tuned. And of course, Ringside News is going to update us as things move along and progress. I got to tell you, News and Rumors is boring as hell tonight.
He's getting fired up now, really feeding off this crowd.
Now, I do have a lineup for SmackDown. It's a spoiler lineup. Well, SmackDown in most places probably just started, but if anybody wants to know what that lineup is, let me know. Otherwise, I won't bother.
Placing them into the corner.
In full control here.
I'm trying to find
Third you think maybe be the Rock tag John
the article
Cena.
we were reading earlier.
Good luck getting up from that.
Looks like AEW Wrestle Dream looking to have the lowest pay-per-view crowd in years.
He's just dominating at this
I'm going to read
point.
that just because it's interesting to me. Not personally. So this is WrestlingNews.co, Andrew Ravens. So AEW is slated to hold its inaugural Wrestle Dream pay-per-view event on Sunday, October 1st in Seattle, Washington. But ticket sales are looking flat. This show is a tribute event to the late, great Antonio Inoki. However, the show that will honor the life and career of New Japan Pro Wrestling's founder won't have top New Japan Pro Wrestling stars on it. Well, that doesn't even make a whole lot of sense at all right from the get-go, does it? You're going to have a show paying tribute to New Japan Pro Wrestling and Antonio Inoki, and you're not having any New Japan Pro Wrestling stars on it. Alrighty then. So basically they're just trying to jumpstart an event and pay-per-view utilizing New Japan Pro Wrestling. Riding their coattails, if you will. So in the latest edition of Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that the show has sold 5,005 tickets. And it looks to be the lowest pay-per-view audience since the pandemic. WrestleTix reports the show is set up for 7,566. The last time they were at the venue was for a January 2023 episode of Dynamite. Looking back, that's the case. If you count shows at Daly's Place during this time, they had fewer people in attendance because of the guidelines in the place at the time. The lowest attendance pay-per-views after the pandemic, when AEW went back on the road in the summer of 2021 and not held any Daly's Place, include All Out with 10,126 in 2021, Revolution with 8,359 in 2022, and thus far in 2023, 9,000 with Double or Nothing. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all the winners of the 8-man tag to brag elimination matchup from Team Dedrick, Team Shadows, Team Dogface, and of course Team Techno. It is Mnemonics, Fat Lad Mitchell Vaughn, D-Rex, the man called Drek, and of course Tony Stone. They are the weapons of mass destruction, and they are your victors in that matchup. Congratulations to Weapons of Mass Destruction. Big win for you guys. Maybe another slight setback for the War Raiders, but again, they are a new faction. They're just getting used to the idea of working as a well-oiled machine, which they are of course not at this point. But I'm sure they'll shake off the cobwebs.
Me and Roman do.
Because it's been a long time since Brock Lesnar's even had a tag team partner, much less been in a faction. Bobby Lashley has had a faction more recently than anybody else. With the Hurt Business. Roman Reigns, of course, has been with the Bloodline, but he's used to working with his family. He's not used to working with other superstars in this newfound faction that is the War Raiders. And then, of course, Escanor still coming up through the ranks. Oh, I'll be 1 minute. Glenola, if you just want to find something to discuss, my wife's calling me. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well,
Me and Roman are the ones who can deal with tag teams.
tell you what we'll do. Hold on a second. And I'll get you guys a joke here. While we wait, if anybody wants to put jokes into the chat, of course, they'll get read at some point.
Alright, I have returned. Sorry about that. Mrs. Archer giving me a call. Apparently my son is in the hospital. I thought he was in Kingston shopping, but apparently he decided to go to the hospital and get some tests done. He's not feeling too well, so she's going to keep me updated about that.
Praying everything's okay, Archer.
Yeah, me too. Well, he hasn't been feeling well for a couple days, and I mean, obviously something must be really bothering him, because much like me, he does not like hospitals, and he had a day planned to go with his girlfriend to Kingston and do some shopping, so that said, little worrisome, but he apparently says he's doing okay, but he is going to be being hooked up to some machines, and they're going to run some tests and see exactly what's going on there. But alright, so here we go. Moving on to the next match of the afternoon. And this time is a 6-man tag to brag elimination style matchup. And this is going to be a slobber knocker. We've got the Gooner, Luke Ballmer, from Team Luke the Gooner 94. The Wolfman, Alan Severn, And I know some people might be like, what in the holy fuck is he doing with Elijah Archer and the Gunnar Luke Bomber? But I'll tell you, and I'm not implying anything, but Archer and Severn have a long, storied history, both as allies and as foes. But they have been known to do each other a solid from time to time. I don't know the full story behind why Alan Severn is here tonight, other than the fact that, I mean, I do know JC is busy tonight. He's got a date with Destiny later. But, so perhaps he is simply filling in so that they could still have their tag brag elimination style matchup. I don't know.
I know he's been a little pissed off lately, you know.
Wolfman has been pissed off. Maybe he just wanted to get in there and mix it up.
Due to the situation with
War the Machine, yeah. Jennifer Wolf.
Plus the whole setup with, you know, Dex, everything's going on there.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on inside the faction.
The stress is getting to him, and he's... Yeah, you may be seeing a different Wolfman very soon.
A different Wolfman. Well, I mean, to be fair, the Wolfman's always been a little different. But, I mean, what a beast of a man. That guy's been nothing but formidable ever since he yanked the contract. Multiple-time champion, tag team champion. He is in the Archerverse Hall of Legends. He's been a Legends champion. So, I mean, he went on a record run. I believe he had 11 title defenses.
Something like that.
Yes. So, a lot going on in Alan Severn's career. Storied career, might I say. Illustrious, even, if you will. But tonight...
Well, I was going to say, to be honest, I think Archer and Wolfman may be better friends than they let on. I mean, you don't go at each other like the two of them have and just totally ignore the match if there ain't something underlying, you know?
That's true. That is definitely true. But it's an interesting situation, and I'm sure a lot of people might be thinking, what in the holy hell? But yeah, Archer and Severn have a long storied history. So it's not common. It's very rare, but if you go back in time a little bit and check out the history of TWA, Alan Severn and Elijah Archer have worked together a multitude of times. But tonight he's joining the coalition against MJF, Chris Jericho, and Nick Aldis, and this match should be a doozy. Every single superstar in there, tough as nails, fantastic storytellers in the ring, and of course, epic in-ring action from each and every one of them. It should be interesting to see what happens. But again, it is a 6-man tag to brag elimination style matchup. And Glenola, I know the Wolfman is in this matchup, but let's approach this from a different angle here. How do you think MJF, Chris Jericho, and Nick Aldis fare in a matchup of this magnitude right before the biggest SPV of the fall of 2023, TWA Revolution right around the corner, and here they are. They're in a matchup against the Coalition, the Wolfman, the one Elijah Archer, and of course the Gunnar Luke Bomber. Well, how do you think they fare?
I actually hate to say this, and I mean shock some people, but I think they're going to pull it out. I think the Wolfman's distracted at the moment. And if he's in the mood, I think he is, he's not going to be worrying about pinfalls or submissions. He's just going to want to fight.
Right.
And when that happens, you know, he's not worried about winning a match. I mean, I mentioned it. Archer and Wolfman just fighting each other outside the ring and ignoring the match. They had a 4-way match, and the two of them just sat outside the ring and fought.
And just beat the holy hell out of each other, too. I mean, and that was a long match, too. But yeah, they totally ignored the other two, and the other two cruised to a match together. Great matchup. But I think most people, I think it's one of those matches that it's easy to forget about, though, because most people were, not the match in entirety, but the matchup between the two that were in the ring, because Archer and Severn were putting on a spectacle outside there. I think most people were probably focused on that.
Yeah. So. And, you know, of course, Archer's hit or miss.
Sassy Rabbit says, I like your show. Thank you, Sassy Rabbits. We love it, too. Glad you approve. Hope you're having a good time.
You know, if Archer's on, Archer does great.
Welcome.
Yes.
If Archer's not on...
yeah, that's true. Now, to be fair, he's been on absolute fire in the Legends division. Absolute fire. His recent matchup against the British Bulldog, I actually thought he was going to lose that match. British Bulldog fed it to him. He fed it to him. I mean, Archer did eventually dish it back out, but for a majority of that match, I was starting to think that the British Bulldog might dethrone Elijah Archer. But if you'd like to know the list of people that Archer has beaten since becoming champion, let me know in the chat and I'll make that happen. If not, we're just going to have to sit back, chill out, max and relax and all cool, and check out Archer's matches as he continues to run through the Legends division.
So I'm going to actually have to vote that Jericho and his partners pull this one out.
So you think MJF, Chris Jericho, and Nick Aldis for the upset?
I do. And I hate to bet against the Wolfman, but this ain't the first time I've done that.
Well, Glenola, you're right a lot. Again, it's usually around 75-80%, but that's still a high fucking number when you think about it. Right? When all the betting lines that we've had in the course of TWA history, and you still maintain at least bare minimum of 75-80%. Yeah.
My predictions aren't so good all the time, you know.
Right.
That's probably closer to 40
well, you do a better
50%.
job. You do a better job of predicting when there's no betting line than you do when there is a betting line. Although, to be fair, for a while there, man, you won a lot of betting lines there. I mean, we're going back a couple of months, but you were winning them left and right, 2 at a time. You were winning 2 jackpots at a time, winning betting lines. There was a lot going on. So.
But a lot of times I would actually, the one I wanted to win, I would actually bet against them in the betting lines because I was trying to make sure there was a payout.
Yeah. Yeah, you like to do that.
And then I'd end up winning.
All right, well, let's get the next show, the next match of the show on the go. It is the Coalition versus MJF, Chris Jericho, and Nick Aldis. Let's turn and burn. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just looking to see if there's anything else interesting in the dirt sheets. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of interesting news and rumors, I'll be honest. It's kind of a boring night as far as that goes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a whole lot of new information. Let me just refresh the list and see if anything else came up.
Introducing first, representing the
Oh, here's something interesting.
from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at
So here's something from WrestlingHeadlines.com that was published by Mark Middleton. Backstage notes on why WWE released Matt Riddle. See, Soul Embers was under the assumption that Matt Riddle his contract was up and he left. No, he was released. That is confirmed. But as noted, WWE released Matt Riddle earlier this evening. In an update, a new report from Fightful Select notes that Riddle was released because he burned through too many chances while with the company, according to one WWE higher-up. And I can easily see that because, again, he was well on the way to becoming the next Jeff Hardy, in my opinion, you know? Which is a sad thing, because the whole Jeff Hardy thing is a very sad... I still hope he gets his act together, cleans himself up, and comes back for a Hall of Fame induction and some Legends contracts. I would love to see that. But anyways, Riddle was very much on that same path. So there had been talk that Riddle was set to return this past Monday after being out since September 4 with a double ear infection and bronchitis. The brief hiatus came after the incident at JFK Airport. However, this new report notes that Riddle was never planned for this week's Raw, and that rumor likely emerged from outdated information. Riddle was never into the creative plans for Monday's show. Riddle was pulled from the road following the JFK Airport incident and was never planned for a return. It was noted that since Riddle was not factored into any immediate creative plans, he was doing some grappling training as usual this week and was said to be in good spirits before his release. Riddle is under a 90-day non-compete clause, which would make him eligible to sign with anyone he wants on Thursday, December the 21st. WWE released at least 22 wrestlers on Thursday. The updated list of 23 talent cuts from this week looks like this: Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, Elias, Shelton Benjamin, Rick Boogs, Riddick Moss, Emma, Aaliyah,
And from Winnipeg,
Top Dollar,
Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at
AJ Francis,
27 pounds,
Dana Brooke,
Jerry Cho,
Mansoor,
Look at the swagger on display. I
Mace,
love it. Swagger.
Quincy Elliott,
You know, a number of people in the
Shanky,
back just despise this superstar.
Bryson
Well, the
Montana,
WWE universe clearly disagrees with you.
Yulisa
Oh, what else
Leon,
is new?
Dabakato,
Hello Archer friends and Archer foes
Kevin
and Archer
Ventura
lovers.
Cortez, Alexis Gray, Daniel MacArthur, Eichmann Euro, Brooklyn Barlow, and now Matt Riddle. So, but I'm not surprised by Matt Riddle.
He's been demanding this match for quite some time.
I'm not
and now
either.
he is ready
No.
to compete.
Again, I was a supporter of Riddle's through his MMA career, and then when he came into the business, but I mean, yeah, it was time to let him go.
Here he comes.
Here's something else from,
Hello, Erica. I probably
oh, that's
butchered that
Raka.
name, but-
Welcome in, Raka. What's going on, my friend? What's new and exciting?
from Long Island, New
Hello,
York,
Archer friends,
weighing
Archer
in at
foes, and Archer lurkers.
221 pounds,
What's new and exciting at Raka?
MJF.
Appreciate you stopping by. Welcome in.
Built on respect between competitors. But when this individual hits the ring,
All right, so
niceties fly
this
out
is
the
a
window.
WrestlingHeadlines.com article published by Joey G. Says Matt Hardy says someone told him he was no longer needed for AEW Collision in Hamilton,
Archer appreciation.
and it wasn't Tony Khan. So AEW superstar Matt Hardy spoke about some of the backstage controversy going on in AEW during the latest edition of his Extreme Life podcast. The Broken One spoke about an episode of Collision back in June, one which he was booked to appear at in support of Ethan Page. However, someone later told him he was no longer needed for the show, and he had to change his booking. Hardy shares the story, insinuating that this person, CM Punk, was the one who unbooked him for the event. He said, I'm actually going to go into that a little bit because people asked about what happened. So whenever we were in Hamilton, we were there on Wednesday live for Dynamite and Rampage taping for Friday. And then there was a Collision the next night. So I had been asked a few days before I would be willing and free to stay for Collision because Ethan Page was officially turning babyface on that Wednesday night on Rampage. We were going to be together in solidarity. We were going to be buddies and have each other's back. He was going to protect me in the match we had there. Then that evening, about 6 p.m., it was clear. They said, oh, it's going to be good. From Tony, he says, oh, that's great. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. MJF, thank you so much for doing this. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. It's going to add so much to do. Ethan Page, thank you so much for doing this. It's going to be so much to it. Then we do our bit on Rampage. Sometimes I think I swear to Christ, they're not typing these articles. A lot of them are just all voice to text. Because the way some things come out when you're reading things, first and foremost, you're thinking, how the fuck did you not catch that in editorial? How did you not edit your articles before you actually publish them? But anyways, I'm pretty sure a lot of this comes from text, voice to text type of thing. You know what I mean? Just the way things are worded. But anyways,
About six-man tag matches, they tend to get wild and crazy.
he said, we get out of there, we leave, I drive back to my hotel in Toronto, and it's almost midnight. Then I get a message for someone in creative process, and they said, just so you know, you and Isaiah aren't needed tomorrow. I already changed my flight to Friday with the travel prior and everything else, and it was already confirmed by Tony Khan that I was going to be there. Then we found out that night that I wasn't going to be there. He later says that he had a difficult time traveling home due to the last-minute change, which again was not made by Tony Khan. Then the next day I couldn't fly out until 4 p.m. that day, and then I got to Charlotte. Then my flight to Raleigh kept getting delayed, and eventually it was canceled, so then I had to get a car and rent it and drive home to Raleigh the next day and get my car. It ended up being a travel nightmare. I was flying home that morning at 8:30 or 9 a.m. to get home and spend the day with my family. But then it cost me a total day and then half the other day because I had to go back to Raleigh and get my car and whatever else. So someone changed that during the day. and it wasn't Tony Khan. So I don't know. I can't point fingers at any names, but I'll let people come to their own conclusions. You can make your own deductions out of this. That's what ended up happening. And that's why myself and Isaiah weren't needed at Collision when everyone else had asked us to do it for days on end. And then I said I would, and Tony Khan approved it. 5 or 6 hours later, it was not happening, which was very strange. So you can make your own deductions on what happened. Of course, the story at the time was that Punk didn't want anyone close with the Elite, including Christopher Daniels, Jack Perry, or Hardy, to be at Collision, a show that he seemed to be in charge of. That is all in the past now, as Punk has since been fired from AEW due to his actions at AEW All In. But I mean,
CM Punk got flushed.
CM Punk got flushed. So the only other newsworthy information is, and again, this is WrestlingHeadlines.com by Joey G, and I was talking briefly to Glenola about this before we went live. But former WWE and WCW star Adam Bomb files new trademark. And Adam Bomb is, of course, Brian Clark. The funny thing is, I actually thought Brian Clark had passed away, or something had happened to him. So this is very interesting to me. But anyway, Brian Clark, a former pro wrestling star for WWE and WCW, recently filed a new trademark with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Clark applied to trademark for his character Adam Bomb, as well as the term Dark Cowboy. So Adam Bomb for GNS Entertainment Services, namely providing images of character from Professional Wrestling League Entertainment Services, namely providing images of a character from Professional Wrestling League for a video game Entertainment Services, namely providing appearances at conventions and shows. Same thing with Dark Cowboy. So that's interesting. What do you guys make of that?
Go, Archer, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
How are you doing?
Doing good. How you doing? Welcome in.
I'm doing alright. I am on the broadcast. You'll have me in the broadcast, please, for my match, and probably that's it.
No worries.
I got other shit to do as well tonight.
No worries at all. So how was your day? Anything new and exciting?
My day's been good, actually.
Sorry, say that again?
My day's been good.
Your day's been good? Fantastic. We were actually literally just talking about Brian Clark, who used to be Adam Bomb.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm not the only one. There's literally a comment on this article that says, "Not even joking, but I legit thought he was dead." So did I.
It was his partner, Brian Adams.
Oh, Brian Adams. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
I was just looking up here and I saw, following the death of his partner, Brian Adams. So that's probably where it comes from. But he had to retire because of injuries. He was part of the class action lawsuit about head traumatic brain injuries. So,
what type of match is this? Is this a knockout match?
This is a 6-man tag to brag elimination style matchup.
Nice.
If you guys want to look up some information about Brian Clark and some of his notable accomplishments, I'd appreciate that. I do have to give the missus a call. She's a little bit worried about our son. Again, he was supposed to go to Kingston, which is a place here in Ontario, to do some shopping with his girlfriend today. He didn't end up going. He stayed in town. And not just that, he's actually checked himself into the hospital. So we're just kind of figuring a few things out. So I'm just going to see what's going on there, make sure she's okay. And I will hopefully be right back. I do apologize for the inconvenience, but it is a matter of importance. So
can I just say how lucky Nick Aldis is married to Mickie James, a fucking lucky son of a bitch.
Fuck yeah, no kidding, eh? I've always been a huge Mickie James fan, and I got to be honest, Nick Aldis is one of my favorite pro wrestlers, especially of.
Nick's actually pretty good.
He is fantastic. He is a genius in that ring, and I really hope he does end up being in the ring, wrestling, and not just working backstage. Although he has lots to offer talent backstage, because he's not even that old. He's in his mid to late 30s, but he still has.
Should have got rid of the wrestler when they re-signed Mickey James. I thought.
He clearly wants to inflict some more.
Sorry, say that again.
They should have re-signed. They should have signed him as a wrestler when Mickey James was in WWE.
Well, Nick Aldis is in WWE. By the way, speaking of WWE, did anybody else besides me? Now, of course, I can't find it anywhere. It's like it just was deleted and taken off the fucking net. But there was a photo and a short article that showed Jade Cargill at the WWE Performance Center. And now I can't find it. And of course, today last night, I guess, we read about Tony Khan not being able to comment on Jade Cargill's potential signing with WWE, etc. But just mere hours before that, I'd actually literally seen a picture of Jade at the WWE Performance Center, and I can't find it now. Maybe you guys could find that too. But I do have to call the wife.
It's pretty obvious, isn't it, that she's going to be at WWE?
Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she? She's going to be huge. She is going to be a huge talent. For WWE, and she's going to set the women's division on fire again.
Is she actually good?
Oh, she's awesome. Have you never seen Jade Cargill wrestle? Guy, you got to go check out some of her matches.
No, not really, no.
You got to check out some of her matches. Okay,
I wasn't watching AEW when she was wrestling.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. But anyways, I do have to make that phone call, so if you guys want to look up some information about Brian Clark, and if you want to keep discussing Nick Aldis, that's awesome too. They're both fantastic. But I'll be right back as soon as I can be. I am paying attention to what's going on, so if the match does end, I will, of course, get things ready for the next match of the night. But BRB.
I have to say, I feel like we are just one move away from claiming a winner in this one.
One more move or one more misstep.
I think Jade Cargill could be a good addition then to the WWE roster.
Possible. Now that Ryan Clark didn't have too much for championships for that.
So what did Riddle? I don't know why is Riddle released, or do I have to look this up to find out?
Well, there was some allegations based on some tweets or something he'd sent out. Then he turned around and he was flew into I want to say it was New York, and accused one of the TSA agents of sexual assault. And I guess after an investigation, it was proven false. He had deleted the tweet that says he was. And I guess they decided, we're done with him. He's had too many chances.
Yeah, sounds like the guys with too many chances to me. I'd get rid of him.
Redemption of your choices. 079.
But yeah,
I can't argue with that. I swear he was on Raw this week.
Could have been, I don't know. But Brian Clark looked like he was an All Japan Pro Wrestling Tag Champ with Ryan Adams. Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him number 47 in top 500 singles wrestlers of the year in '95. Ranked number 466 in 2003. Was the Smoky Mountain Wrestling beat the television champion once. WCW World Tag Champion twice. And then Wrestling Observer had him as worst tag team in 2000-2001 with Bryan Adams. And worst match of the year with Bryan Adams versus Undertaker and Kane in 2001.
And that one misses the mark.
And that looks like his notable accomplishments.
Yeah, guys had too many chances if you ask me.
Yeah, it was Brian Clark's notable a little bit. Yeah, let's look this up again.
He gets set down to the floor.
RVD's wrestler right now on Collision.
Shot after shot. Ruthless striking. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh, what impact. Right to the gut.
That's it. It's like if you write, it's like Jeff Hardy, forget it. If you have too many fucking chances, you get released. But the matter is, yeah, he's had more than 3 chances, to be honest.
Opponent off the ropes. Double big back body drop. You can see as he rises how vulnerable of a position he's in.
Suicide
dive! That is tossing your own body around without a care. Taking no account for their own well-being. Oh, that was pretty cool. The WWE Universe is coming alive in this one. They are up and they are vocal. A lot of
What a
energy
match
in the
though
room.
so far for the Coalition.
Alrighty, Archer. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll do a little time with a little Johnny joke that was redeemed earlier.
Oh!
If I get pinned by Nick Aldis, this will be a fucking like this will be like a fucking meme. This.
And he gets set back into the ring.
You know, I love Mickey James and fucking Mickey James' husband pins me in the ring. Come on, man. You fucking meme.
And hello,
I can't have that shit, man. Please don't want to get pinned by Nick Aldis. Because when does I should do this like fucking spinning kick, man?
And he stops the count for his partner.
Guy never does it on my fucking stream.
Discord.
Setting up again.
Archer's Army welcomes you to
Archer, what you been putting on your guy, mate? Because I have never seen your guy do that fucking move on my stream. I don't think.
Skipping the rest. You are following the very best in fantasy wrestling excellence bar none period. Welcome to the world's 10 peaking from
Oh, I like Nick Aldis, mate. I just don't want to get pinned by him.
You are right.
I want your wife, Nick. I shouldn't have said that, really.
He's got control.
Wolfman needs to just get in there, pick him up, toss him to the walls.
Thank you for the follow. I'll be back on the broadcast with these two fine gentlemen.
Fine gentlemen? Come on, man, lady. Oh, here we go. Get the fucking knockout, you fucking bitches. That's how it's done.
Alright, I have returned. What a match! And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the six-man tag team elimination matchup, the Wolfman, Alan Severn, the Gooner, Luke Ballmer, and the one Elijah Archer, the Coalition with the big W. Congratulations, Luke. You were wrong, yeah. I mean,
the Coalition runs the fucking place in the Archiverse, man.
The only thing we don't have is the titles.
Well, that'll be coming to me soon, so...
That can be remedied, yeah. That could definitely be remedied. Alright, so on to the next match. And here we go. This is a 2-on-2 tag team elimination matchup. It is Tornado Tag Team, and it is the Outlaws. Svetlana Vedrozka and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on the She-Fiend and the Viking Rose Brewer. They are the Wolfpack Gals. That is our next match of the evening.
I think the Wolfpack Gals will win.
Well, the Wolfpack Gals are, of course, the... I believe, are they the world champions or the YTD tag team champions? I forget which of the two.
I don't remember.
I think they're the YTD live tag team champions. Svetlana and Dr. Britt Baker, of course, are the junior tag team champions. So they'll have a chance to challenge for the World Tag Team Championships at TWA Revolution on Monday evening. The King's family says, I have joined the Discord. Excellent. We appreciate that. Yo, Strife. What's going on, Strife? Welcome in.
What do you think of RVD being on Collision?
And the King's family, thank you for the follow. Welcome into the Archerverse TV. Welcome to episode number 518. This is Wrestle Wars Genesis. It's our last show before our next big SPV of 2023, TWA Revolution. So we're adding fuel to the fire for the big card. It is going to be a thrill ride of an evening. Again, Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go live, and we are going to rock the house with a 12 to 14 match event card. It is going to be an absolute fire evening of matches. But next match of the night, it is the Outlaws versus the Wolfpack Gals. And what do you think? I'll ask Luke because I know where Glenola will go here. What do you think? The Outlaws or the Wolfpack Gals? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, with the Wolfpack Girls.
You going with the Wolfpack Gals? Okay, I too am going with the Wolfpack Gals. Now, Svetlana and Dr. Britt Baker, they did impress me and surprise me when they won the junior tag titles. But She-Fiend and Rose Brewer, man, what a team. What a team. Of course, Wolfpack Gals switched it up after the Viking Rose Brewer had tag teamed with the Anomaly Tia Stevens for many moons. The Viking decided she wanted to mix things up and partnered with She-Fiend, and they have not looked back since. They are currently the reigning defending tag team champions. I just can't remember if it's YT Live or the World Tag titles they hold. I'll have to look in a few moments. But that's our next match of the night.
That's one of the things that make the Wolfpack Gals so dangerous is they can team with anybody.
They can team with anybody.
Yeah, you don't know who you're going to face. So,
That is true. But I do believe, nonetheless, the Wolfpack Gals come out victorious here, regardless of how impressive the Outlaws have been as of late.
No, I agree.
Well, anyway, I'm going to leave the broadcast booth for now. I'm going to go do some other things tonight. So I will catch you later.
Have a good one.
Have a good night, Luke.
Alright, catch you later. I'll see you later. We had an amazing match, by the way, today on my stream. You want to check that out when you can?
I will definitely check that out.
I'm not going to tell you who wins anything.
No, don't tell me when I want to see it.
Yeah.
Strife says, about time you noticed, been in here, in and out all show, was out eating with the mother.
Nice.
King's Family in Discord, if you already have a wrestler you are managing, put their info into the Inca contract area. Absolutely. We come in and Luke leaves. Yeah, exactly. We see how it is.
Mm-hmm. And Archer, with everything going on, I think you could use a little bit of enjoyment. So, I'm going to give you 2 Johnny jokes.
Two Johnny jokes.
And then I'm going to give you a freebie.
I'm down.
I know how much you love those.
I am down.
So, Johnny's out playing in the backyard, and Honeybee lands on his arm. Johnny just smashes it. His father sees him killing the honeybee and says, "Johnny, no honey for you for 1 month." Later that afternoon, his dad sees Johnny pulling wings off of a butterfly. That's it. Kid, no butter for 1 month. Later that evening, Johnny's mom's cooking dinner and a cockroach ran across the kitchen floor. She jumps and stomps on it, looks up to see Johnny and his dad watching her. Johnny looks over at his dad and says, "Are you going to tell her or am I?"
Oh my God. You gotta love Johnny jokes. I mean, there's a reason we have a redemption for it. And it looks like it is the YTD Academy tag titles they hold.
Is it YTD?
It is, yeah.
I've lost track, I'll be honest.
The King's Family, you put your information in the Inca contract section. Fantastic. Your superstar will, of course, debut in YTD Dark before merging over onto a live show, whether it be, everybody starts off at YTD Dark, but then you either go directly to YTD Academy Live, which is Clash of the Titans, or sometimes people get lucky and get bumped up to the main roster. It happens. Wrestle Wars Genesis, of course, being the main roster.
It will take a show or two to get them in.
Let's see. Awesome, it will take a show or two to get them in. Yeah, absolutely. You'll definitely start it in a dark match first. That is correct.
To the outside.
But I mean, there has been some superstars that have come in with a little bit of hype. And, they were correlated with other superstars on the roster, and they were given shots on the main roster. That doesn't happen too often these days. It's been a long time since that happened, actually. Mostly everybody starts off at YTD Dark and then goes to YTD Academy Live, which is our Clash of the Titans show.
Well, it has happened recently with one in particular, but that was because of a challenge.
That's true. That is true. If you want to explain that challenge.
Well, Wolfman and War of the Machine challenged Eskimore to a match. There was just something about the guy. They liked the look. So they decided to see how impressive he could be. And he was very impressive. He didn't win the match, but he was impressive. And has since gone on to be more impressive.
And tell everybody who it is you're speaking of.
Escanor, the Lion's Sin Escanor.
The Lion's Sin of Pride. Who now has his own faction that consists of Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and there's one other. Who's the one I'm missing? Oh, DJ Snow.
Yeah. And DJ, I believe Escanor is already maxed out, so he can't be boosted.
Yeah, he's already maxed out. But welcome in DJ Snowbeast. What's going on, DJ? What's new and exciting, my friend? Glad you could make it. I know this isn't a regular time slot for Wrestle Wars Genesis, but as it is, I work first thing in the morning, so it was necessary to run the show just a little bit earlier today.
And I'm going to go ahead and refund you your points there.
Yeah, if you could do that for me, that'd be great.
Counters, this could be an opportunity.
But
Arm system. Look at these series of boots.
All right. So, anyways, there's definitely nothing else really interesting as far as dirt sheets go. But I do have two lists.
All right. Well, before you do your list.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do another John joke, right?
All right. Elementary school math teacher asked the class one day, if there are 3 birds on a wire and a farmer shoots one, how many are left? One little boy said 2. But little Sally, realizing it's a trick question, said none, because everyone knows if you shoot at birds, they all fly away. Teacher congratulates her on the correct answer. So Johnny, though, disagrees. No, there would be 1. The one the farmer shot. Teacher said, no, Johnny, you're wrong, but I like the way you think. Okay, teacher, I have a riddle for you then. Let's say 3 women are at a bar, each order a single scoop of ice cream. First one eats it by gently licking it around the edges. Second one slowly sucks the ice cream off the cone from the top. The third gobbles the top and then sucks the rest out of the cone. Which one is married? After a few minutes of contemplation, teacher says, well, I think it must be the third, one that gobbles the top and sucks out the inside. Johnny responds, no, teacher, you're wrong. It's the one with the wedding ring, but I like the way you think.
Oh, Jesus. We can't say it enough. I just love Johnny jokes.
Like I said, I guess I felt like you could probably use that right now, so
it was definitely appreciated. All right, so we do have 2 lists. Which one would you guys like to hear first? The top underrated. Okay, so Glenola says underrated. The 2 lists are the top 5 most underrated wrestlers of all time. The next list is the top 5 most overrated wrestlers of all time. And they're both from the same publishers. And that is ringthedamnbell.wordpress.com, published by BDamage1. At least that's who published this one. It's from the same site. I don't know if they're both the same publisher, so I'll just correct myself there. But which one would you guys like to hear? Most overrated or most underrated first?
And hello, Boss Apollo.
Yo, Boss Apollo. What's going on, Boss Apollo? Welcome in. Appreciate you being here as always. What's new and exciting, boss?
Or if you want to let the Texas speech work, it's Boss Apollo.
Boss Apollo. That is great. Yeah, that still makes me laugh. Boss Apollo. Now, Boss Apollo, the broadcast booth is open. If you have the time and you want to join us on the broadcast booth, feel free. You're definitely able to do that. But yeah, welcome in. What's new and exciting, boss? Oh, look at that. He asked Strife how he was doing before he asked us. How rude. What's going on, boss? Welcome in. Welcome to the broadcast booth. What's new and exciting, my friend? Anything? I thought I heard him.
I hadn't.
I thought I heard like, you know that sound that you sometimes hear in your ear when somebody else pops in? Maybe not.
Oh man, meeting the barricade.
But how dare you ask Strife how he's doing or how they are doing before you ask us? Gaslight. Host of the most and the co-host of the most must-see show on Twitch and YouTube TV. Very best in fantasy wrestling, excellence, bar none, period. And you ask Strife how he's doing first, how they are doing first. Whatever. I believe Rose Brewer just eliminated Dr. Britt Baker, so it is down to Svetlana Vadroska from the Outlaws and both members of the Wolfpack Gals. She-Fiend and the Viking Rose Brewer. I gotta tell you, I'd fucking run. I would fucking run. I wouldn't even do it. And there's the link if you want to check out the latest craze in TWA merch. You can purchase your coffee cup, tea, or ball cap right now.
Just got back from meeting.
Strife says, Boss of all stuff, just got back from... And by the way, incidentally, Strife, what did you eat? What did you all eat? We know you had dinner with Mom. What did everybody have? Where did you go? I still have to change that link too. There is no more World War III. Been rebranded Clash of the Titans. And that is it. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of the tag team tornado elimination style matchup from Team Distinct Cone. It is the Viking Rose Brewer. And of course from TWA, the She-Fiend. They are the Wolfpack Gals, and they are your victors. Big win for the Wolfpack Gals over the Outlaws. So congratulations.
Froggy Mothlegs!
Froggy Mothlegs! What's going on, Froggy? I'm guessing they had a burrito. Well, we're still waiting for... Oh, wait a minute. Tacos. I was going to say we're waiting for Stripe to answer, but they already did. What kind of tacos? Beef tacos, pork tacos, fish tacos, chicken tacos. I mean, there's so many different types of tacos. You say vegetarian and we are banning you. Just saying. If you say vegetarian taco, we are banning you. I'm not even lying. I will fucking ban you guys. Boss Apollo says, I let a blind man borrow $30. He said he'd pay me back next week.
Time he see me.
Oh, next time he sees me. Oh my God. Boss Apollo with a blind man joke. I mean, you could have warned us it was a joke. I read that as if it was a real thing. I was thinking, well,
that's what makes it better.
Right? Strife says, vegetarian taco is an oxymoron. Thank you, Strife. Those are the vibes. You guys are correct. Vegetarian taco is an oxymoron.
Like a blind guy we know.
Froggy says, sounds like a blind guy we know. And which blind guy would that be, Froggy Mothlegs? Just out of curiosity. Alright, big win for the Wolfpack Gals. Time to move on and get the show on the go. Here we go. It is another 2-on-2 Tornado Tag Team Elimination matchup. It is the Junior Tag Team Champions taking on the YTD Academy Live Tag Team Champions. It is going to be one hell of a matchup. And it is happening next, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Wolfpack Horsemen from Team Froggy Mothlegs, Lobo Dexter, and his partner in crime, the Omega, Marshall Omega from Team Night the Undying. And they are taking on Legado del Fantasma, the current reigning defending Junior Tag Team Champions. Now, of course... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Froggy, how Blind's doing?
Oh, yo! How is Blind Locksmith doing? And you should tell him to get his ass back home, by the way. He's been gone for far too long.
He is definitely missed.
He is definitely missed. And man, would it be awesome to see Tables again?
Yeah.
It would be awesome to see Tables again. one of the most intriguing and interesting superstars.
Tables.
Right? We want tables.
We want tables.
Then, of course, we had chairs, and then there was rumors of a new superstar named Ladders, and that, of course, never materialized because the Blind Locksmith, tables, and chairs just up and vanished like they didn't even exist to begin with. But yeah, Froggy, you tell Tables to get his ass back home, or he is grounded. He is late. Late for dinner. Actually, he's late for a lot of things. He is late for a lot of things. All right, so next match of the evening, again, it is Legado del Fantasma taking on the Wolfpack Horsemen, champions versus champions, junior tag champs versus the YTD Academy Live Tag Team champions. It is time to get the show on the go. Let's go.
Since we looked him up and you guys mentioned him, we have wanted to see Tables.
All right.
I'll tell him every word.
You'll tell him every word? Fantastic. I mean, you can always highlight a part of the VOD and just send it to him. Just send it to him. Tables, get your ass back home. Pronto.
And Strife, Tables was...
Tables was awesome.
That was great stuff. You got... I'm not lying. When you had the Professor Poindexter, Tables, and Little Joey Nightmare going at each other in the ring, that was a match and a half.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And then, of course, there was always people forever thought that chairs was Tables at a mask, right? And then it turns out that wasn't the case at all. The two of them even had a tag team match together, so it was interesting. Great storytelling. Just sent him a message.
Okay.
All right. Humboldt calls dibs on Tables' first match back. I mean, now that would be an interesting matchup. Humboldt's the Arcane versus Tables would be absolutely phenomenal.
The Master of Hardcore versus the old man.
Tables is still technically in contract with Team Froggy Mont. That's true. And you know, saying that, what has Tables been up to these days? Where is Tables? What has he been up to? Is there a potential for a return of Tables? I mean, there's a lot of questions there to be asked. And answered, for that matter.
I can't believe you just said this competitor should smile more.
What's going on with Tables, Froggy?
Reply guy on social media, aren't you, Saxton?
Yeah, what's wrong with replying to posts?
And again, if there's any member of the community that has access to the broadcast booth and you'd like to join Glenol and I on the broadcast, feel free to do so. I mean, we invited Boss Apollo, and apparently that led him directly to pulling a Sir Jack the Greatest, because not only is he no longer in the chat room, he is not on the broadcast. He is no longer on the broadcast. All right, let's see here. Tables is still... I already read that. Last I saw Tables had a new apprentice, but I can't pull it out of anyone to say who. Interesting. Tables has an apprentice.
Oh.
A protege, if you will. That is very interesting.
That is downright scary.
I mean, Froggy, you should pull some strings so that you're able to tell us who it is. You need to pull some strings. I mean, between that and telling Tables to get his ass back home, we need things to unfold here, sir. How dare you? And here comes Lobo Dexter.
Right. Imagine
the latest incarnation, iteration, or whatever else you want to call it, of Poindexter. At this point, does Poindexter even know who he is anymore? That's what I wonder. He said, right, imagine him teaching that hair to someone else. I know. Tables had awesome hair. He looked a little bit like Goku, but whatever. All right, so, but what list do you guys want to hear first? Most underrated superstars of all time, or most overrated? I don't know if anybody actually answered that question yet. I'm looking back here. I don't think so, though. Now, did you already refund DJ for that power up your partner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just wanted to make sure that was the case. Again, it's the top 5 most underrated wrestlers of all time or the top 5 most overrated wrestlers of all time. Your choice. What do you want to hear first, guys? Very says, Tables' hair is my favorite part of Tables.
Tables and Demon Razor used to go to war.
Yo, Titan G in the house. What's going on, Titan?
Hey, Titan.
Tables and Demon Razor used to go to war. That they did. That they did. They had several good matches together, as a matter of fact.
Actually, to be honest, Tables went to war with just about anybody. That
He
was
did.
one thing that made him so great.
Yeah, he was born to be a Wolfpack member, that guy. Froggy says, fucking truly. Oh, somebody gave a shout out for Titan. I was like, why is Stream Elements suddenly shouting somebody else? I somehow went from fucking truly. I skipped right over Froggy's next message in chat and went right to the Stream Elements one. I'm like, why is Stream Elements just randomly shouting? I mean, that would be cool. But, yeah, no, that doesn't normally happen. That is why. Cable's first 2 matches were wins over... I assume that's supposed to be wins. Over Undertaker and Lesnar. Yeah. Yep. First 2 matches, bang, bang, back-to-back. Lesnar, Undertaker. Took them both out. Absolutely phenomenal. And you're talking about a guy, Tables was no bigger than Poindexter. I mean, in height. He was bigger than Poindexter in weight. But as far as his height goes, he was no bigger than Poindexter. But, man, could he put on a clinic, a masterclass in that ring. It was absolutely phenomenal. But seeing how you motherfuckers aren't answering me, I'm just going to pick a list. I'm going to go with what Glenola said, because y'all are just ignoring us both. How dare all of you, I should ban you all. So here we go. We're going with Glenola's choice. He wants to have the top 5 most underrated wrestlers of all time read first. Let me just see who published this. I actually don't see a list. I think it must be the same... Sorry, go ahead.
While you look that up, I'll just real quick pull another Johnny joke out of my
Yeah, absolutely.
collection.
There is always time for Johnny jokes.
I
Always.
figured. Yeah. Johnny, where's your homework? Mrs. Martin said Sterling's little boy while holding out her hand. Miss, my dog ate it. Was the solid response. Johnny, I've been a teacher for 18 years. Do you really expect me to believe that? It's true, I swear, Mr. Johnny. I covered it with peanut butter and he wolfed it down.
Oh my good God. Some of them are borderline grotesque, but fucking funny as hell. All of it. Even the dumb Johnny jokes are still funny. You know what I mean? Because Johnny jokes, just like any other joke, has some dumb jokes, has some good jokes, and has some fantastic jokes. But even the dumb ones, unlike other dumb jokes, are still funny. So that's why we like Johnny jokes. That's why we have a redemption for Johnny jokes. Okay, so this is by B Damage 1. And it is the top 5 most underrated wrestlers of all time from ringthedamnbell.wordpress.com. All right. So this week, it says this week we're looking at the top 5 most underrated wrestlers, men or women, that were good in the ring and or on the mic that most fans seem to overlook. Of course, this is all subjective. So they're admitting right away this is probably their perspective or their site's perspective, the people involved with publishing the articles and editing them. They're admitting it's all subjective, but this is their top 5 most underrated wrestlers of all time. Number 5. And we can discuss these as we go, but Bam Bam Bigelow. So for a 300-pound guy that could smoothly and that's a very good way to put it, actually, smoothly fly off the top rope. It sucks that his biggest moment was headlining one of the worst WrestleManias ever with Lawrence fucking Taylor. That's a quote, by the way. It actually says that. I'm not just ad-libbing here. It actually says Lawrence fucking Taylor, and I agree with the sentiment. So there's that. Fun fact, he had a restaurant just a few towns away from me for a few years before he passed away. I will agree with that. I actually thought Bam Bam Bigelow should have been a champion. I thought he was a great... Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Yeah. Fantastic in-ring performer. I mean, it's not like he did a dirty pile on the microphone, but that's not really necessary. You know, when it came to somebody like Bam Bam Bigelow, he didn't really have to talk. He could talk. He wasn't the greatest promo cutter. But he was fantastic in the ring. For a 300-pound guy, not only did he fly off the top rope like they said, but he also moved around that ring like he was a featherweight. Right? He was a beast. I mean, he would do cartwheels. He had a gas tank that lasted forever, so his stamina was fantastic. His agility was fantastic. He was a decent wrestler. Even he wasn't the greatest wrestler, but he was a decent wrestler. That's important, right? You got to at least be a good wrestler. But I do agree that Bam Bam... Actually, Glenn, do you want to look up some accolades for Bam Bam Bigelow? Just out of curiosity here.
I can definitely do that.
But he's one of my... he's one of my favorites, I think. Not of all time, but he's one of my favorite wrestlers from the past. Bam Bam Bigelow. I saw him in some epic matches, and the one with Lawrence fucking Taylor, as they quoted, was not one of my favorite matches at all. And it's too bad that he was in that, because again, it's nobody really even remembers that WrestleMania. It was not a good WrestleMania at all. Actually, there was. I was just gonna say there was really crappy WrestleManias from more modern times that were still better than that WrestleMania. Just saying.
I'm gonna start off before he even became a wrestler. After dropping out of high school, held various jobs including being a bodyguard, a bouncer, and a bounty hunter.
Now that I didn't know.
Well, he said while working as a bounty hunter in Mexico, he was shot in the back by a fugitive and imprisoned for 6 months in Mexico City.
Oh, it looks like, was it Cruz del Toro that got eliminated? Wow, Marshall Omega's been eliminated. We're down to one member from each team here. Lobo Dexter and Cruz del Toro.
We've got to acknowledge these fans.
Or is that Jochen Wild? Or Jochen Wild, they call him. I assume they would pronounce that with a Y sound. They look very familiar. I can't tell if that's Cruz del Toro or if that is Jochen Wild. I want to say it's Cruz del Toro. Look at the chants in the chat room for Lobo Dexter. Nope, that's Wild. That's Joker Wild. Now that we get a close-up look, not only can you tell from the face, but he's got it on his pants, not to mention. It is on his wrestling gear. Definitely Joker Wild. Oh! God damn, Gourd Buster from Lobo Dexter.
You gotta be kidding me! How is he still in this match?
2 count only. Wow. I actually thought Lobo Dexter was going to wrap it up there.
He's ejected from the ring. Out of the ring.
Lobo Dexter looking for a toy here. So anyways, you were saying about Bam Bam Bigelow?
Okay. So, for championships and accomplishments, and this is, I'm just getting this off of his Wikipedia page. You know.
Right.
He was American Combat Wrestling Tag Team Champion once with Ralph Mosca.
Ralph Mosca, why do I know that name?
I'm not sure.
Ralph sounds very familiar.
But for Continental Wrestling Association, he was the AWA Southern Heavyweight Champion once. In ECW, he was the ECW World Heavyweight Champion once, and the ECW World Television Champion once.
Yeah.
NWA Northeast, He was their heavyweight champion once.
Well, that's where I'm pretty
and
sure.
The first.
Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's where the name Beast from the East came from.
It may be.
Yeah.
He was the first, from what I'm seeing here, heavyweight champion. New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was the IWGP Tag Champion with Big Van Vader.
Oh, I remember when they were a tag team. Like I did. Obviously, I didn't watch them live or anything. But I've actually seen quite a few matches where I believe I don't know exactly how many times they wrestled. I want to say at least a few. But I did watch a couple of them. Bam Bam and Vader were a monstrous team.
That'd be a hell of a team.
Oh, hell yeah.
Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him
Obi
number
Shinobi,
24.
thank you for the lurk. Yo, there it is. That is it. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. The winners of the matchup from Team of Froggy Mothlegs. It is Lobo Dexter. And, of course, from Team Night the Undying, the Omega. Marshall Omega, they are the Wolfpack Horsemen, and they just picked up a big W over the Junior Tag Team Champions, Legado del Fantasma.
The Wolfpack is having a very good night.
The Wolfpack is having a huge night so far. Huge night. Alan Severn in a successful match with the Coalition. The Wolfpack gals picked up a big victory over the Junior Tag Team Champions in the women's division. The Wolfpack Horsemen just picked up a big W over the men's Junior Tag Team Champions. What a night so far for the Wolfpack Horsemen. So congratulations, Team Glenola, because you're the biggest contributor in part. I would say full reason, but you're not the only reason the Wolfpack Horsemen formed as a faction. But of course, Alan Severn has had successful factions before. This was just butter and gravy for him.
Yeah,
butter and gravy.
I mean, I still talk about his Psycho Sid and Cactus Jack. But that was the first time I've ever seen somebody get disqualified in a match because one of their partners touched them.
That was so crazy, wasn't it? That was so crazy. So crazy. All right, before we get into any further conversations, next match of the day, you guys can decide for yourselves who you think is winning this matchup. This is going to be, I'm telling you, this is going to get ugly quick. From Team Soul Embers and part of Skywolf, it is Ashley Sky. Taking on from Team Life is Great, Roxanne Riley's in the house. It is the former Pure Wrestling Champion and former television champion taking on the reigning and defending television champion. And of course, Ashley Sky, of course, next in line to face Roxanne Riley for that television championship.
I definitely gotta show support to Team Life and Roxanne Riley, because we all need life support.
Actually, wait a minute. Ashley Sky is not next in line for the television championship. She is in the running. I believe she's third or fourth, though. But January won the honors in a gauntlet-style Rumble match to win positioning to face Roxanne Riley for that television championship.
Thank you for shouting out Life, Froggy.
Whether or not that happens at the SPV, I don't know, because I know Winter Swarm will be in action at the stream preview, so who knows. But technically speaking, January, if she wanted to be, is next in line to face Roxanne Riley for the TWA television championship in the women's division.
Hello, Archer's wife.
Yo, what's going on, honey? Popping in to call me a penis face as usual. Mrs. Archer's in the house. But anyways, so Bam Bam Bigelow, yeah, I'm pretty sure the reason they called him the Beast from the East is because of his success in the Eastern promotion.
Yeah. Now, just to continue on, like I said, 94, Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him number 24 of the top 500 singles wrestlers.
Yeah.
Universal Superstars of America, he was the USA Heavyweight Champion once. USA Pro Wrestling, he was their Heavyweight Champion twice. WCW, Hardcore Champion one time, Tag Champion twice with Chris Canyon once and Damon Dallas Page once.
Chris Canyon.
I forgot he trained with
Sonic, the
DDP.
greatest we've been here.
As did I. I knew he teamed with Chris Canyon,
Yeah.
but I had forgotten that he was. Yeah.
World Class Championship Wrestling Association. He was their television champion once. World Star Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion one time and listed as the first. World WWF Sammy Award for
Throw
Best
Strife
Head
off the cliff.
with Gene Okerlund.
Throw
That was in
Strife off a cliff.
1987.
Sir Jack said, "Thank goodness Talent has entered the chat," and Strife said, "We've been here." Just thought it, we've been here. That's how well you pay attention, Jack. Kenny88, what's going on? Welcome in. Episode number 518, Wrestle Wars Genesis. What's new and exciting? You seen me coming? Well, unless your name's John Cena, yes. Because we don't see John Cena. We don't see John Cena.
You are
Kenny88 now following the very best in fantasy wrestling excellence, bar none, period. Welcome to the Wolf's Den. Welcome to the Fam Jam. Thank you for the follow, Kenny. He said Talent has entered. I got you.
Yeah.
Strife, he's talking to you. Go ahead.
Wrestle Association R was World Six-Man Tag Championship with Hiromichi Fuyaki. I've mutilated that name.
It's okay.
And
Butcher as many names as you'd like.
Yeah, Yoji Anjo. And then he was also winner of a six-man tag team tournament with Atsushi Onita and Junichiro Tenryo.
Yeah.
And Wrestling Observer Newsletter voted him Rookie of the Year in 1986.
1986. Now, incidentally, we're going through all. When did Bam Bam pass away? Like, I remember that he did.
97, I think it's that.
Was it 1997?
Or 2007. Sorry.
January
19th, 2007.
I was going to say in 1997. I'm pretty sure he was still wrestling.
Yeah, that's my brain.
So I was going to say that. Well, I wasn't thinking it was your brain. I was thinking it was a typo or something.
Yeah.
Beautiful job, guys. This is sweet. Thank you very much, Kenny. We like the vibes. We like the smoke up our ass. You fit in good with these wolves. Welcome in.
Autopsy found was due to multiple drugs in his system, including toxic levels of cocaine and benzodiazepines. A contributing factor was atherosclerosis. It was ruled an accident.
That was 9/7.
No, Kenny. It wasn't 97. It was 2007 that he had passed away.
I had read it earlier. And
he had a brain fart.
I thought so.
Glenola had a brain fart. Although I initially thought maybe it was a typo in the article because that happens all the time. But in this case, it actually was Glenola's fault. Go figure. We blame Glenola for shit all the time that it isn't even his fault, and this one actually is his fault. How dare we not think of that? But.
To win a channel redemption of your choices.
And by the way, nobody has won the jackpot yet, so it is still up for grabs. 079 and 016 are the numbers you're looking for. Anybody that's newer to the Archerverse TV, you get 2 chances to play the lottos. ! Play. And by the way, Kenny, here's our Discord link.
Discord.
So that you can
Archer's Army welcomes
join
us on
the trolls and rabid wolves on the Discord, but there's all kinds of information on there. Everything from the next show to our championship history. We've got fun and games on there. You'll have a good time with the community. And here is our YouTube channel, because we have a YouTube show live every week. YTD Academy Live, Clash of the Titans, and of course we have YTD Academy Dark. We upload dark matches throughout the week. We have an awesome time. We're glad you're here as part of the family. Thank you again for the follow. We appreciate you. Bam Bam was a great run, to be honest. The flying big man. Actually, we were talking about that earlier. He was like a 300. I think 300 is being too modest. I would say he was over 300, but I would think he was more like 320, 330.
Let's see.
I could be wrong.
Weight 390.
390. So there we go. He was closer to 400 pounds, but
6'4".
But he was, not only was he a 6'4" man, but he was also fairly solid. So he carried that 390 pounds very, very well. Villain level of Van Vader, almost 4.
Purchase your copy.
Yeah, Big Van Vader was awesome.
Right now.
I was always a fan of Big Van Vader. Always a fan of Bam Bam. Especially when, listen, when I very first laid eyes on Bam Bam Bigelow, he was just some big, intimidating looking dude with a flame tattoo on his head and a flaming outfit, which was kind of cool. So it kind of automatically drew your attention. But when I saw him starting to do cartwheels, bounce off the ropes and fly across the ring like he's a fucking cruiserweight and fly, and I mean that man could fly off those ropes. The hang time was equivalent to something you see Air Jordan perform. And he was good in the ring. He told an amazing story. His body of work was amazing. So I was always a big fan of Bam Bam Bigelow. And the headbutt, yeah. Let's not forget the headbutt. Absolutely. But, all right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The next match of the evening, it is an Iron Woman matchup. Ashley Sky from Team Soul Evers taking out Roxanne Riley from Team Life is Great. It's showtime and go time. Let's go.
Bam Bam in major pain.
My introduction to him, because I was hit or miss for quite a few years in wrestling. But my introduction to Bam Bam was actually the WrestleMania NES game.
Which one?
WWF WrestleMania on NES.
Oh, yeah. I remember that game.
That, I'll tell you what.
Champion versus champion.
If I used Bam Bam Bigelow, nobody beat me. And that cartwheel was a big reason for it.
I mean, not even just utilizing Bam Bam. He was hard as fuck to beat. Hard as fuck to beat.
But I did have to go back and rewatch one movie, and I still got to watch the other. But he was in 5 movies.
So what does 2 titles indicate?
He was in Snake Eater 3, his one, which is one I have to go to watch. I haven't watched number 3 yet. I've seen the first one. Then, of course, he was in Major Pain. That was an awesome role.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Nice throwback to Billy Jack. For those of you that aren't familiar with Billy Jack, there's a scene in Billy Jack where he tells the guy he's going to take his left foot and kick him on the right side of his face. And there wasn't a damn thing he could do about it. Well, in Major Pain, Pain basically tells Bam Bam Bigelow going to that same thing. Don't give me any of that Billy Jack bullshit.
Billy Jack bullshit. Hey, you know what? This is a little bit of why, because we moved on to other things involving Bam Bam. But you know what? It would have made a great team or a great faction. Bam Bam Bigelow, Big Van Vader, and King Kong Bundy. Oh my God! They would have destroyed everybody.
I could think of just one other person that fit into that beautifully.
Who are you thinking?
Gorilla Monsoon.
Gorilla Monsoon, yeah, especially when he was in his prime. That guy was a hulking man. Like, he wasn't ripped out like a lot of the guys later, but that's because he wasn't a steroid abuser. But man, was he huge? Could he wrestle? And his submission game was phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Abdullah too. Yeah, well, Abdullah the Butcher's he was a freak. I mean, I'm not sure I don't know if Abdullah would make a good addition to a faction because he might eat them. He might chop them up and eat them or some damn thing. I don't know if anybody would want that man in their faction or tag team.
Well, and
just throwing that out there.
Something like that, the Wolfpack does have Carino Farmer.
Carino Sinister Farmer from Team Cornhusk Show. You betcha.
So
Sir Jack says, Rock's got this. Alice been training them cheeks for this ass whooping.
Doesn't matter if the title's on the line here tonight.
Variant said, same Glenola.
Any circumstance.
Kenny says, you in your 30s? Who are you talking to? I mean, nobody here in the broadcast booth are in their 30s, so unless you're talking to Strife. Strife, yeah. It depends on the day with Strife. Strife is more like 5 or 6 at times. Froggy's like a toddler.
I'm 48, or well, 47. I'll be 48 in November.
Yeah, I'll be 46 at the end of the year.
The rules are simple, and
so we have a plethora of knowledge. A plethora of knowledge of pro wrestling.
One of the most storied matches in WWE history, and some would say the toughest.
Froggy, you're saying you're less than 30? I already said that. Are you deaf? I literally just said you're like a toddler. Oh, you're 30 months. Gotcha.
Okay.
Of course, he would have to up me, right? He'd have to one-up me with that. But yeah.
And then Bam Bam was also in Joe's apartment, which I've never seen.
I don't think I've ever seen that either, to be honest.
Thank you.
Strike says 103, thank you. Is that 103 months? Is that 103 months, Variance?
But then I got to go back and rewatch Ready to Rumble because I don't remember Bam Bam being in that.
No, he was. He was in Ready to Rumble, yep.
Yeah, because he's listed as himself.
Yeah. Yep.
But there was a lot of people in there that, you know, it's like, I can't remember them all. A lot of great wrestlers.
Kenny says, I'm 35. Rare to find guys who have that much background running shows. Well, welcome in. We're glad you're a part of our community.
Yeah.
Again, we have one of the best communities in all of Twitch and YouTube. We have some very brilliant people, fantastic streamers and gamers. We have musicians. We have artists. We have athletes. We got people that are in stage plays. We have a fantastic community. Unwavering support, subscribers, followers, both here on Twitch and YouTube. But Kenny, if you're not already following us on YouTube, make sure you click that link and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any action going on there. That goes for Sassy Rabbit and anybody else that's newer to the channel today. Make sure you click our YouTube link and go and follow us over on YouTube. What the fuck happened to Boss anyways? He kind of just ditched us, didn't he? He came in, said hello, and then ditched us. How dare he? He's probably touching himself. With he and his blind dog. Kenny says, amazing guys, I sure will. All right, and Kenny, we do have an Ink of Contract section. I don't know if we've already discussed this with you or not, but if you have a wrestler that you want to ink to a contract here at TWA, on Discord, there's an Ink of Contract section, and you just put your hashtag information in there. Or if you require us to go out and find you a wrestler, that can be arranged too. You just got to fill us in on some deets, what you're looking for as far as a wrestler goes, who you want to manage. But if you already have the talent, put the hashtags in, and we'll make sure that your superstar gets started in at YTD Dark. Everybody starts at YTD Dark. Then they go to YTD Live, Clash of the Titans, and then eventually Wrestle Wars Genesis is the destination you want to be in. Although these days Clash of the Titans has been putting on master classes, they've never been as good as Wrestle Wars Genesis. I'm starting to think that YTD Dark is the new developmental, and we have a second brand. Is almost what it seems these days. I don't know if anybody else agrees with that, but my God. YTD Live Clash of the Titans has been absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah, and part of that, Archer, is your own fault.
That is fair.
You're supposed to be a development, but then you decided to do away with Wolfpack Championship Wrestling.
Wolfpack Championship yeah, but then they just simply started overtaking YTD Live. I know, I was going to say, how fucking dare you complain when you guys took over YTD Live?
I'm just saying, you know, it was supposed to be the development league, but we had to take something over.
The Wolfpack Horsemen are a bunch of savages. Froggy says, if you stick around and win some bets, you can even claim your own superstar for a month or 6. WCW needs to return, just saying. Well, I mean, it'll probably never happen, but I gotta tell you, and I've always wondered, in hindsight, does Vince regret closing down WCW? I'd have to think yes. Because number one, it would have been perfect competition. And in the late 90s and early 2000s is when it started to becoming more popular for rivaling companies owned by the same owner. Under the same umbrella, each operating as its own identity. Very similar to what TKO is doing right now with WWE and UFC merger. So they could have kept that show running. They could have kept, it would have been a place for talent to go other than New Japan Pro Wrestling and ROH at the time. And, I mean, for 83 weeks, they whooped the shit out of WWE, and eventually that could have happened again under their own leadership. You know what I mean? It would have been a great rivalry, WCW versus WWE. And the other thing is, you know, it would be to the dismay of Impact fans and AEW fans, but if WCW had remained open and remained a competitor, none of those companies would have existed. Neither one of them would exist. ROH would, because they were already in existence. Yeah, but the wrong guys had their hands on it. Well, that's the problem, right? the very same mistakes that AEW is currently making. TNA made the mistakes. AEW apparently didn't learn from either of the past mistakes and decided to come on their own and try to create WCW 3.0. I don't know. But you're right. The wrong guys had their hands on it. You know?
Well, the owner wanted out anyways.
Uh-oh. Somebody want to untime out Kenny so they can explain what happened there?
Well, he was already mentioned about certain letters.
Yeah. So, Kenny, if you're wondering why you got timed out, here at the Archerverse TV, we have a list very similar to the list of Jericho. It is the list of Archer. As a matter of fact, the list of Jericho is on the list of Archer. There are certain words throughout our shows that people like to tantalize with, like AEW. They've been added to the list of Archer. So if you use the name AEW, it times you out automatically. We are full of villainy here. We like to troll each other. Oh, it's okay, Kenny. It is literally a long-running joke. It's a long-running joke.
That's why we have stuff like this.
Yeah, see, Sir Jack was able to do it by putting spaces in there. Son of a bitch. Son of... You know what that means, Froggy? You know what you've done? Froggy Mothlegs, do you know what it is that you have done? I mean, I could tell you, but I'm going to see if you can guess.
She needs to find a way out in short order. Not going to last long.
All right.
She escapes.
Actually, I don't even know if I still have a list of Archer. I must, but I can't find it, which is weird. I'm still looking for it. I don't know why I can't. Oh, I know why. I'm in the wrong spot. I'm in the wrong spot. All right. But you know what you've done, Froggy? You, sir, have created another entry for the list of Archers. A space E space W or AEW is now on the list. Number 4 on the list. Along with Cause, the list of Jericho, and of course the regular spelling for AEW. Alright. Sir Jack. Wait, did I swear? Did I curse? How long has that swear jar been there? I don't even know what I said. What are you laughing at? It is not funny. Froggy says AKO the list. Does anybody know if I cursed after that was... How dare you, Jack? Sir Jack the Greatest doesn't join the broadcast booth, doesn't even know when our Fan Jam members are in the chat room, but drops a swear jar to try and trap me. The question is, how long has that swear jar been there? Did you say a bad word? I don't know. That's what... Jack, I will ban you. I will just flat out fucking ban... Oh. Fuck! Shit!
There you did.
Shit, fuck. You know what, Jack? You know what, Jack? It is not funny. Do not encourage Jack. He does not need it. You know what, Jack? I fucking hate you right now. I do. I flat out fucking hate you right now. Shit is not funny. Alright, well, while you guys continue your conversation about Bam Bam Bigelow, I just got myself banned from the rest of the match. So there's about 5 minutes 43 seconds remaining. You've got the Great Glenola at the helm. Sir Jack, fuck you.
Way to go, Sir Jack. Oh, that was classic.
Everything's going against her.
But I'm so paranoid he did it.
From the top. Again, will it produce dividends? 2. Kick to the midsection.
Sir Jack the Greatest just subscribed for
Just for that.
It's over. 2.
Archerverse Lovely.
You get a free Johnny joke, Sir Jack.
Could have just started a quick turnaround.
Thanks for the sub-side coverage.
She is rapidly.
So let's find you a good one here.
Nobody can match up with this
Be
woman
right
from
back.
the top. She certainly took a chance there. High risk with no reward.
And she keeps on powering through to
Johnny
remain on the
Joe.
attack.
She's queuing it up again. Uh-oh. Counters that with an arm drag.
Okay. New teacher was trying something out for her psychology class that she learned at university. She says to the children, everyone who thinks they are stupid, stand up now.
And she gets herself out of
After a little while, Johnny stands up. Teacher looks, why did you stand up, Johnny? Do you really think you're stupid? Johnny, no miss, but I hated seeing you standing there all by yourself.
Tossed around like a rag doll. And she's pushed into
Now,
a weakened
Archer
state
wants
she might be close to being shut down.
Johnny
Emoji
joke.
skull and crossbones. Emoji skull and crossbones. Emoji skull and crossbones.
Late in the match, she scores a fall.
Let's find a good one for him.
They are feeding off the WWE fans, now pinning the arm down, and
Goodness gracious.
counters.
Nice takedown. You can see her struggling to find her bearings. Trying to go for it again. Landing on top of the
Don't you
skull.
forget to follow
This
the
one
action in
is
YTV World War III on YouTube.
2 count.
URL
she gets a
Filterverse 5755.
She is queuing it up again.
During English class, teacher asked Johnny, have you ever heard of the word contagious before?
Throwing the heavy
Of course, miss, Johnny replies. My dad actually said it when we were talking yesterday. Oh, can you repeat it for the class and tell us how he used it in the sentence? Yeah, miss.
We all know
We
what
were
she's
watching the neighbor take his garbage out when his bin tipped over, spilling the rubbish all over the driveway. Dad said, it's going to take the contagious to pick it up. Tongue-tied.
And she got one.
Because of that, I'm going to do another one. These are where I don't get tongue-tied.
Ouch. That's one way to get your opponent.
And she's really being knocked around here. She has been pushed into a bad spot for sure.
That's why I'm giving you another one,
But
because
she
I got
might be down
tongue-tied
again
again.
soon.
Look out! Diving brain chop. This match is falling apart for her.
This has just been an
You too.
absolute massacre. She could be turning her fortunes around.
Ooh, she
Filterverse
just
Hey
turned it
Archer.
around.
Change the later. If you're on Twitter, you can follow the Archerverse there as well. URL.
She's trying one more time.
OK variants of strength.
Oh, gee, straight to the cranium.
The big gun fired yet again. 2. She gets one. Looking the arm for a Fujiwara armbar.
Oh, Fujiwara armbar applied. Momentum is shifted to her corner. She is being merciless.
Tombstone and route.
Love blower.
All right.
That's gotta be it.
Fifth grade teacher came into the room one day and found a drawing of a penis on the blackboard. Suspiciously looked at her students but didn't say anything. Instead, she just rubbed it off the board and continued on. Next day, she came in and saw another drawing of one that's even bigger on the board. Frowns, rubs it off. Third day, she come in and saw another one on the board. This time, it's huge. It's covering up almost half the blackboard. She couldn't take it anymore, so she screamed out to the room full of kids, "Why do you kids like drawing this penis on the board? Why is it getting bigger each day?" Johnny screams out, "The more you rub it, the bigger it gets."
Filterverse PFFT.
Thrown back in under the ropes. Yes, able to survive and
Yeah, we got about 30 seconds in the fight.
I have returned. Well, you have 30 seconds.
back.
I have 0. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Iron Woman matchup from Team Soul Embers, the Warrior Princess Ashley Sky, picking up the big W against Roxanne Riley. Wow. I'll be honest. I would have thought Roxanne Riley would have come out on top there. I did. Well, first and foremost, I guess I'm a huge Roxanne Riley fan. But she is the reigning defending TWA Women's Television Champion. Ashley Sky, of course, a tag team champion. She is one half of the World Tag Team Champions with Sky Wolf. But wow, big match for Ashley Sky. Congratulations, Soul Embers. And congratulations to Ashley Sky and, of course, Sky Wolf. Big win for Ashley Sky. All right. So where were you? You already done the Johnny joke. Did you do a Tree of Knowledge or Rotten Fruit yet?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh, how dare you, sir?
Okay.
Third traverse.
So,
Sir Jack the Greatest scoops third traverse. Up into a powerful bear hug, flailing third traverse around.
You're not funny,
like
Jack.
Ragdoll, finally
How dare you?
tea.
How dare you bear hug me? Who got nuttered? I got nuttered to Glenola. You are not funny either, sir. Do not entertain and add to the current villainy coming from the peanut gallery, please. I mean, you were on the broadcast booth with me. We're a team. Partners in crime. How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and as soon as... I was going to say the Johnny joke. As soon as the Tree of Knowledge or Rotten Fruit is complete by Glenola, we'll also continue with their list. We only got as far as Bam Bam Bigelow because we wanted to know more about Bam Bam Bigelow. But just so you know who is next, number 4 on the list, just released by WWE,
Archer,
Shelton Benjamin is next on the list. So,
Glenn,
but go ahead,
Joe,
Glenola.
Frog, B, and the rest of the Archerverse.
well, first in defense, Bam Bam Bigelow is one of the greatest of all time.
Agreed.
People love Bam Bam, and he never did get the recognition he deserved.
Agreed.
But back in the 90s, I actually got to meet some studio musicians that worked with people like Elvis, Garth Brooks,
Bouncy,
and a lot of other large, big names. As a matter of fact, one of the ones that worked with Garth Brooks said that for his studio musicians, every Christmas, Garth Brooks would give a $10,000 check for Christmas.
Interessant.
Bouncy shoes.
Now, part of me wants to say, because I know you're not so much these days, but you're a huge pro wrestling fan and you've got a plethora of knowledge. I want to say, I don't speak for anybody else. You guys have to decide upon yourselves, but I want to say it's partially true, partially bullshit. Partially true, partially bullshit. Now, while we're waiting for everybody else to decide if Glenola was telling us the truth or feeding us complete bullshit, next match of the night, it is the Junior Grand Prix champion, the People's Champion, the most electrifying, or former electrifying man in sports entertainment history, The Rock, taking on the current reigning, defending, and undisputed TWA television champion from Team Mick Marvel. It is Mick Marvelous, a.k.a. Mick Marvel. And this is going to be a slobber knocker. I mean, I'm not going to tell you this is going to be a masterclass wrestling performance, but this is going to be from bell to bell an action-packed matchup, guaranteed. But that said, betting lines are also open, by the way. If you guys want to make a bet on the matchup, put your Archerverse bucks where your mouths are. Who do you guys think is walking out with the W, Mick Marvel or The Rock? Get your bets in.
When we started.
But I'm going to go with The Rock here. I say The Rock, the Junior Grand Prix champion, upsets Mick Marvel here tonight. My opinion only.
I think I'm going to go with Mick Marvel.
You're going to go with Mick Marvel? Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, get your bets in. Let's go. You can bet 1 Archerverse buck, 10 Archerverse bucks, 100 Archerverse bucks. Get your bets in. 8 minutes to get your bets in. Let's go, let's go. Don't be a pussy. Take your wallet, open your big fat fucking wallets and place a bet on the match. Get it done.
And so far, Sir Jack said partial.
Jack says partial. Dedrick put his in. Dedrick has his bet in. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't see anybody else. So did I meet these studio musicians or not? Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have to decide. Did Glenola tell you the truth, or did he feed you some bullshit? Oh, Froggy missed the story. How dare you, Froggy?
Back in the 90s, I met some studio musicians who worked with the likes of Elvis Presley and Garth Brooks, as well as some other big-name Nashville stars. Matter of fact, just a side note, Garth Brooks, for his studio musicians, would write them a $10,000 check for Christmas as a Christmas present. But that's just kind of a side note. Variant says lies.
Variant said lies. Froggy says so true. I don't know if he's talking about something that was said prior or if he's talking about the story. Actually, I think Glenn is telling the truth because it wasn't that hard to meet people close to Elvis. Well, yeah, that's very true. Elvis still to this day one of the most, if not the most popular musician on the planet. And the man is not even alive. It's funny because they got taken for, I don't know if anybody was reading the tabloids, but I mean, they got taken for a pile of money. They got screwed hard. I mean, does it really matter in the end? Not really, because they're going to make all that money back plus some. Elvis makes more money than any dead man I know. And they'll probably get a portion of the money back anyways, if not all of it at some point. So they are going to come out on top. Elvis still sells records like he is still touring. So there's that. You know what I mean?
Okay, so Sir Jack changed his to true. Froggy saying true.
And I said partial.
Lies.
I said partial.
And you said partial.
I did.
Okay. Last call.
Last call for Tree of Knowledge or Rotten Fruit. What do you guys think? All right, while we're waiting for Glenn to give the answer, let's get the show on the go. It is time to turn and burn. The Rock versus Mick Marvel. Let's go. And then, of course, once he's done his Tree of Knowledge of Rotten Fruit, we'll jump back to that list because, again, Shelton Benjamin is next on the list.
All righty. I'm going to go ahead and... Archer, you are correct. It's partial truth.
Yes.
I personally did not meet these people. My mother did.
Your mother did. Nice.
When she went down and recorded in Nashville, the studio musicians that they used for her songs worked with people like Elvis. We actually have awesome pictures upstairs of her with these musicians.
Interesting. Can you take pictures of those and post them on Discord?
I don't know if I can get copies of them.
Well, just take a picture with your phone.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
I'll try to get something. Yeah. But the part about Garth Brooks writing the $10,000 checks to the studio musicians, that was true.
Wow.
That was his way of giving back to his musicians for Christmas.
Why? That doesn't surprise me. I mean, Garth Brooks is a very good man. All right, so for anybody that didn't come in when we first started the list, this is a list by ringthedamnbell.wordpress.com. It is the 5 most underrated wrestlers of all time by B Damage 1. And we started off with Bam Bam Bigelow at number 5. Number 4 is Shelton Benjamin. So even though he won a few belts, he just felt underappreciated and underutilized in WWE. He has good charisma. He was an incredible worker in his prime. Even now, he can still go, but I don't know what the fuck It is. They're doing with him now with the weird eyes thing. Now this is a list from 2019. If you're wondering about the weird eyes thing, and he was just released by WWE, so he's not even with the company anymore. But I do agree, he is definitely one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. Glenola, what do you think about Shelton Benjamin?
Well, I'll be honest, and I've said it before, I was never a big fan.
Skipping the rest. Check out
he was talented, yes. I didn't think he was that good on the mic. And he didn't have it quite in the ring to cover up for not having mic skills. Where Bam Bam Bigelow could tell that whole story in the ring and not need really to be on the mic.
Yeah, that's true.
Benjamin just didn't have that.
No, he didn't. And let's be honest, when he was on the mic, it was less than intriguing.
Yeah, it was just, for me, he was talented, but I didn't think he was like, he's your top tier. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Lance Storm, right?
No, I won't go that bad, Archer.
Well, I mean, in the sense that he was WCW appreciated Lance Storm more than WWE did. I mean, he won how many belts and held them at the same time in WCW? He changed them all to Canadian championships and drew a lot of heat in the U.S. It was fucking awesome. But the guy had, in addition to all that success he had, and with his talent, and he does tell a story in the ring, he is a tremendous, tremendous wrestler. You won't find many better than Lance Storm. Just ask Bret Hitman Hart. He will tell you, trust me. But he had zero charisma. None. He was not good on the microphone, and there was just areas of, and he didn't care to be either, though, because his aspirations were to have some good years of wrestling, then get into the business and help younger talent. That's exactly what he does. So good for him. But if he could have got some guidance and got some microphone skills, which in turn would help him develop a little bit more charisma, some more self-esteem when it came to talking on the microphone, man, he would have been awesome. Man.
Yeah. Even Malenko, I mean, had more charisma. And I'll tell you, there was another missed opportunity. Could you imagine Lance Storm and Dean Malenko as a tag team?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Who could stand up technically to them?
And by the way, 283 unlucky, 443 unlucky, 713 unlucky. Numbers are 079 and 016. I'll put it in the chat actually, just so everybody sees it.
Because technically I take absolutely nothing away from Lance Storm. He was just too damn boring.
Now I like Shelton Benjamin. He was not a good, again, he wasn't a good microphone worker, but his talent and his body of work in the ring is what always impressed me. But here's the thing, though. Look how long he was around. How does one go about being in a global empire that travels the world, putting on shows 290 plus days a year, and you're a part of that company for this many years, and you don't develop some sort of microphone skills, some sort of charismatic enigma about yourself to add to your tremendous talent and in-ring work? So you can only, although I agree with Froggy, I do like Shelton. Man, we can call him underrated, but was he, or did he just not consider it? Maybe he underrated himself.
That may be it. He may have held himself back. I think the one mistake they made, and on paper, I'm sure it looked great. The idea looked great on paper. And that was putting him under Kurt Angle.
Oh, I'm sure it looked fantastic on paper, yeah.
They should have put him with somebody that was very charismatic and would draw that out of him. And instead, they went to somebody that was more of a methodical, even when he tried to be charismatic, there was just something missing with Angle.
Yeah, no.
And they put Shelton under that. And it just, I think that may have been handicapped him.
Yeah. You know what's funny is, and a lot of people disagree with me, but I never found Kurt Angle all that great of a mic worker. I think he just, like, when he spoke, it just sounded quirky to me all the time. It seemed, I don't know, it seemed like, number one, he was reading off of a piece of paper or a teleprompter, which, I mean, we know he wasn't. You know, they get fed information in their ear when necessary, but, and it was just quirky. I hated listening to him talk on the microphone.
It
now,
just seemed
to
off.
watch him wrestle, now that was a different story, right? That was he needed a Paul Heyman. He needed a Paul Heyman. You know, if he had a Paul Heyman, he could have been as big as a Brock Lesnar. But I don't know. Again, there's a guy that's been in the wrestling business a really long time now, and he still to this day doesn't sound, even when he's just, you know, wow, look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the matchup from Team Mick Marvel, and is Mick Marvelous, a.k.a. Mick Marvel, picking up the big W over the People's Champ, the Brahma Bull, The Rock.
I gotta laugh. I have to laugh. Because I chose The Rock. I was rooting for The Rock. But I actually put my money on Mick Marvel.
Did you really?
I put 10 Archer bucks
Wow,
on it.
you pulled a Boss Apollo.
Well, there wasn't anybody at that point. There wasn't anybody betting on him. So when I put 10 on him, after that, there were a couple other people did, you know, put money on him and all that. You know, but I honestly did. I just pulled one of my, like I was talking about. I may not choose the right person, but I'll bet on the right person.
Well, you certainly managed to do that because you were correct. He is now. Did you? So sorry, just running the truck back here, but you actually did place a bet on Mick Marvel.
Yeah.
Wow.
First bucks.
But you told everybody The Rock was going to win.
Yeah, but there was two others that put money on Mick Marvel. There's 1.6K with a 14.11 payout.
Wow. Yeah, so 7%.
Yeah, 21,100 put money on The Rock, or have for The Rock.
Yep. Yep. That's crazy. That's going to be a huge payout. Well, let's find out how huge.
Well, mine's going to be roughly 140 Archerverse bucks.
Yeah, because that sounds about right. Well, you'll find out in a second. Here we go. So the winner was Mick Marvel, and I'm issuing 22,720 Archerverse bucks right now.
I do it. 141.
141.
But I do that a lot. You know, if I don't see anybody betting for somebody, I'll go ahead and put 10 on them.
So 22.7 thousand Archerverse bucks go to Variants of Strife and two other people. So one of those two other people was Glenola. Who else bet on Mick Marvel? Kenny says boo!
But the reason I put money on the one that as I betting is so that there's a payout. Because if it's all on one person, there's no payout.
No, that's correct.
Points back. That's
yeah,
it.
That is correct. 713 unlucky. Did I already say that?
Hell's my bad. Emoji
No,
face with tears
did I?
of joy.
I don't know.
Probably.
I probably did. I like to say unlucky.
Yeah, because that's before...
It makes me happy when nobody wins. And nobody's won this lotto. If nobody wins tonight, that'll be the second show in a row, and that'd be the first time we went multiple shows without a jackpot winner in what? Shit, since what? The Archerverse 2.0?
No, it's happened earlier this year, I believe.
In 4.0 or 3?
4. Yeah.
Really?
A few months ago it happened where we had like 3 or 4 shows.
I don't remember
because
that.
It was like
I thought that was
002 and 69 or something, you know.
Your numbers are 0, 8, 7.
It was so low we could...
Oh,
we have somebody in the running.
Wow, Kenny with a 087. You're now in the running for a YTD Championship op, and that couldn't have come at a better time, my friend, because you're about to ink a contract at TWA. So if you remain, so how it works, Kenny? You only have to get within 50 points of the number. And by the end of the show, if nobody gets closer than you, you are the winner of that award. In your case, it is a YTD championship op.
Beginners
If you won the other one, the 016, that would be for a channel redemption reward of your choosing. But anyways, Froggy says beginner's luck. Oh, Froggy, are you a little sour? All right, next match of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, is the co-main event of Wrestle Wars Genesis. A last woman standing between the junior Women's World Champion Akira Blade and the current reigning, defending, and undisputed YTD Live Grand Prix Wrestling Champion Alice Blade. Both under management of Team Sir Jack the Greatest. Who do you guys think walks out the winner here? I got to get the betting line open, though, so give me a minute.
Won most of the year. We're.
All right. Who walks out with the W here?
We're not sour, you're sour.
It is Blade against Blade here. Sister's going to scrap it out. Is it going to be Akira Blade or Alice Blade? I'll give you 5 minutes to make your bets.
Hey, Archer, I'm assuming Legends would be under World Championship.
Legends?
No.
Sorry?
Yeah, the Legends title.
Like the past winners or the current holder? Or?
No, for to challenge for the Legends.
Oh, there is no challenge for
I
it.
bet on Blade.
No, okay. I couldn't remember if we had one set up for it or not.
No, I mean, unless we decide to consider that a mid-card title. The only titles you can... Well, I mean, if you spend 20,000 Archiver's bucks, you can get a singles world championship match. I believe 15,000 is for a TWA television championship match.
Yeah.
And then it goes down from there. We do have a pure wrestling championship. Or no, sorry. A Grand Prix championship redemption. And then after that, the pure title and the tag titles are considered mid-card.
Yeah.
So they are. You can challenge for those if you have a tag team and or a singles wrestler, obviously.
I was just thinking that Wolfman may want his Legends title back.
Oh, gotcha. Well, actually, that could happen. You never know. He's been running through Legends himself. At the stream preview, however, it is going to be Kareem Key Woods versus Archer. He is, of course, the Junior Legends champion.
True.
I mean, unless Alan Severn was to challenge Kareem Key Woods and take that junior, because the junior titles are still up for grabs. It's just the main titles nobody can challenge for until the stream preview. But if Alan Severn was to lay down a challenge to Kareem Key Woods, one might have to consider that a done deal. Nobody's going to turn down Alan Severn. That'll give you something to think about for the rest of the show. All right. Betting lines are open, and here we go. Next match of the evening, last woman standing. It is two sisters are going to scratch each other and claw each other's eyes out. The Blade sisters, Akira and Alice Blade. Let's rock and roll. Now, before I get on to... Shoutout was given for Luke the Gooner. Appreciate that. Before we get on to the next person on the list in the top 5 most underrated wrestlers of all time, I do have to just take a short. I have to use the facilities, and I'm thirsty, so I need a beverage. I need liquid that quenches thirst. So I will be right back. Enjoy the match. It is going to be a banger. I should be back before the match starts. Well, maybe. Or when it first starts. I won't be long. But you have the Great Granola. And then we're going to get back into the list. Number 3 on this list is going to be Doink the Clown. So that'll give you something to think about. Doink! It'll give you something to think about and talk about while I'm gone. I'll be right back.
I was in the booth my match earlier than left to do something frog-hammock legs variants of strife.
Welcome back, Luke the Gooner. Yeah, Archer and I are sitting there discussing. Yo, what do you think? Was Shelton Benjamin underrated? Was he overrated? Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, we heard. We were out eating tacos is why we were so late. Underrated. Luke the Boomer 9.
He's underrated?
Happy to see you again, Olaf. Matt Riddle also. Frog hammock legs always appreciated. Frog hammock legs no. Akira believes that Rox is bringing disgrace upon the Blade family and blames Rox in life. Alice is fighting to defend. Rat. Shelton is under for physical skill. Over for mic work. Tale as old as time.
So, Bert, you pretty well agree with Archer on that then, yeah?
Representing the Blade
I've never
Runners
seen Dork
from
wrestle as his
Bismarck,
prime,
North
but he makes
Dakota,
Archer Matt
the
Sophie's as
Grand Prix
The real deal.
Oh, bro, and the thing is you gotta ask the question, which joint? I mean, there's been a couple joints.
Sayap greatest Virgil, I don't understand that. You humans change your names when you get married, yes? Why not just do that?
Title is not on the line, but she knows a loss tonight will mean a future defense. She will be on her A game tonight.
Yeah, this match is gonna be. I think it's gonna be a great match.
You think about every time you knock your opponent down in a last man standing match, every time you wait for that referee to count, you got plenty of time to plan your next. Sent to the outside.
Luckily I don't believe in marriage because I see it as a trap. Marriage is only good if she is helping me make money, but today's with the suit.
And the explosion occurring ringside. Samoa drive.
Based.
Tossed back into the ring.
Ooh, what a forearm club. Uh-oh. Oh, saw what was coming and answers with the clothesline. Ah, kick.
Nasty kick.
Hey, returns. All right, what'd I miss? Oh, the matchup started. How long has the match been underway? You don't even know you weren't paying attention to the match. Sir Jack the Greatest, did you hear that? Glenola wasn't even watching. Your superstars going to battle here.
I have issues with time, okay?
You have issues with time? Nice.
Not always being able to tell how long something's been.
TMA2X.
And I'm also trying to find good jokes.
Gotcha. All right, but anyways, we may as well jump back to the
82 seconds.
2 minutes and 82 seconds. Okay. So again, number 3 on the list is Doink the Clown. So Doink's early dark heel work is some of the most diabolical and best heel work of all time. And the dude could go in the ring. I think he could have been an awesome heel champion, and I agree with that at one point. But again, it's one of those things. There were very few people in the history of the Vince McMahon era that wore a mask and or face paint that actually won a championship. You know? So, but I don't disagree with that. Doink could go in the ring. That heel work he did as the heel Doink was phenomenal. And they dropped the ball huge on that.
First was bad.
Yeah, he was entertaining.
Oh, he was very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. Yeah, I agree.
The Doink presence and
yep.
You know, and then Dink.
Dink and Doink. All right. Number 2 on the list is Kane. So ignoring anything that doesn't involve him wearing a mask, Kane's gimmick and ring work has always been incredibly captivating. I was terrified of him when he arrived. I truly believed he was an indestructible demon. Unfortunately, I think people now look at him as a novelty, forgetting that incredible force that he once was. Yeah, I think that's been happening for a while. I don't disagree with that necessarily, but you know, when he puts that mask back on and actually comes out as Kane, that's what people want to see. You know, they don't want to see Glenn Jacob.
No, but I'll tell you what, as for underrated, it sounds like he's saying now, you know, because when he was going, he was far from underrated.
Well, he was in the main event seat and was even champion, so yeah, I do agree with what you're saying. I think he's probably talking the novelty he's become as opposed to what he was. I think.
You know, and then you got, but even now, you think about it, Brothers of Destruction. When the Brothers of Destruction walk out, is there a person sitting in that audience? You know?
Yeah. All right, and last but not least, number 1 on this list is Goldust. It says a terrific in-ring technician and another guy who is incredibly over as a heel. Can you think of anyone else who would have put as much into the gimmick as Dustin Runnels? So perfect psychology and one of the most memorable gimmicks in wrestling history. I also agree with that because, yes, he was an Intercontinental Champion. He was never World Champion. And they eventually just kind of transitioned him from heel to almost a neutral status right into a baby face, sort of, you know, in a manner of speaking. Then they gave him a bunch of, you know, comedic segments and put him in a comic role and just kind of ruined the whole Goldust persona. But
well, even the comic roles, I'll be honest with you, worked with Goldust.
I mean,
now do I say he's underrated? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely underrated.
You know, but you know, putting as much into there. I mean, Undertaker put just as much into him. You know,
yeah.
Into Taker, you know, not, but Goldust, it was meant to be a dark comedy character. You know, really.
Well, I mean, sort of. I mean, he was, it's hard to tell if it was a comedy or if it was more he was the movie star hopeful that people weren't giving a chance, and you know what I mean? I don't know, it's hard to...
But yeah, I'd say he was completely underrated, especially when you look at the spots he took, or he did.
Yeah.
The storyline that would not have worked with anybody else. I mean, I'm sorry, that electric shock, you know, the Goldust electrocution thing. that was awesome. But can you think of one other superstar that could have pulled it off?
LA Knight, thank you for the follow. Welcome into the Fam Jam. Appreciate you being here. Welcome to episode number 518 here at the Archerverse. As you can see, episode of Wrestle Wars Genesis. We're adding some fuel to the fire before our next big SPV of 2023. TWA Revolution is going to go live Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be a huge card and a thrill ride of an evening, so you don't want to miss out. And if somebody can drop the link for Discord and YouTube for LA Knight, I appreciate it. Archer versus Kenny in a betting line? That's weird. I don't think that can happen.
Skipping the rest. YouTube. TAB on YouTube URL. I love
if New Jack ever came for my belt, I'd just give it to him.
Okay, so the LA Knights, because they're already in the Discord, so.
Okay, perfect. So just drop the YouTube link then. Oh, it's already been done. Never mind.
Yeah, but no, but really that electrocution story. You look at how well, you know, Goldust pulled that off. But I don't know of anybody else that could have made that work.
Yeah, well, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I mean, I think if you put that gimmick on anybody else, it doesn't work. It fails hard and miserably.
Yeah, but it was entertaining with Goldust.
Kenny says Goldust was severely underplayed. Oh yeah, absolutely, Kenny. We agree with it. We agree with you 100%, 1,000%.
And stopping the referee's count.
So I will say, I would actually replace Shelton Benjamin on this list with Raven.
With Raven, yeah. Raven was definitely underappreciated, underutilized, underrated, all of the above.
He's closing the book on this one.
Kenny says Booker T and him walk hand in hand, in my opinion. I don't know if Booker T was too underrated or not. I mean, he had great success in WWE and in WCW, constantly on the main event scene, War Championship belts. I mean, it's hard to put Booker there. I think everybody loves Booker T. Plus, he's got a great story, right? He went from the criminal life to success. He went from armed robbery to WCW and WWE superstar. So, well, I mean, they messed him up in WWE until King Booker came along anyways. King Booker!
I'll be honest, that was the one time I really wasn't a fan of Booker.
Really? I love the King Bookers. I love that whole thing. It was fantastic.
It just, I don't know what it was. It just didn't work for me.
Did she just slap her ass?
Man, there is no quit.
Did that happen? I saw that, right? Okay, because I just looked up briefly, and I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. I hated King Booker. It's not King Booker, it is King Booker.
We do need to replace Kane on that list,
How
too.
How dare you, Kenny? So you want to put who on where?
Well, we need to replace Kane.
Kane? Yeah, because Kane doesn't belong on the list. How would one consider Kane underrated? I don't know. I mean, yes, later on when they were putting him with Daniel Bryan and all that jazz, okay, I get it, right? They were underutilizing him in correct manners for whatever reason. But for most of his career, he was a main event powerhouse. He became a running... Yeah, no, you're not wrong, Kenny. Not wrong at all.
Well, there's one, actually... this may be a little controversial, I don't know, but Billy Kidman was underrated.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at one time, he was one of the better light heavyweights and or cruiserweights of the time. I mean, he had a great ring presence. He was good on the microphone. He was good technically. You know, he wasn't the biggest guy in the world, but he was tough as nails. And I think the best... Did he win a championship in WWE? I can't remember if he was cruiserweight champion or light heavyweight champion at one point. I want to say he might have been light heavyweight champion for a short spell, but I'm not 100%. Yeah, I like Kidman too, yeah. Absolutely. Kidman was awesome.
The thing I liked about Kidman the most was the story about him wearing the blue jeans and t-shirt in the ring.
Oh, I'm going to have to jump in for a minute. My daughter's giving me a call, so I'll be right back.
Alrighty. I don't know if anybody's ever heard the story. Basically, at a WCW show, somebody hid Kidman's ring gear. And Akira Archer walks away, and Akira Blade wins. But they hid his ring gear, so he just put on his blue jeans and t-shirt and went out to the ring to fight.
Here is your winner, Akira Blade.
I can't imagine being able to celebrate, let alone stand.
They actually, let's see if I can find the information on it. They actually did find his ring gear years later. It was up in the rafters. See if I can. Mortis? Not sure off the top of my head which one that is.
I have returned, at least momentarily. Daughter is still on the phone. She's a little upset, so I'm going to be talking to her for a few moments. But I see that who won the match? I can't tell from that view. Is that
Akira.
Alice or Akira? Akira Blade took out Alice Blade, eh? The Junior Women's World Champion took out the YTD Live Grand Prix Wrestling Champion. Interesting. So congratulations to Team Sir Jack the Greatest and Akira Blade. Big win for Akira taking out the Grand Prix Wrestling Champion, Alice Blade. All right. I'll issue the payout for that. Just give me a second.
Now, and it was as soon as you walked away.
Was it really? Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
But it's not, tell Minishi that Granola says hi.
I will do that.
Yeah.
All right, so Akira Blade was the victor. Only 1,090 Archiverse bucks on the line there, but I am distributing it. And I will get the betting line ready to rock and roll for the main event of Wrestle Wars Genesis.
And just to answer your question, Archer, he was the WCW, WWF Cruiserweight Champion 4 times, and Tag Team Champion once with Paul London.
With Paul London, okay. All right. Now, question of the night that must be answered. Is Alan Severn challenging Cream Key Woods to a Junior Legends Championship match?
There was a redeem, and if I need to do a different one, I put it as the mid-card type.
Yeah, that's fine.
Redeem, but yeah,
that's
submission.
Fine. Now, of course, anybody that's wondering how he's able to do that, the Wolfman Alan Severn has been inducted into the TWA Hall of Legends, so he's able to compete. He qualifies to compete for the Legends Championship, which, of course, that means he can also challenge for the Junior Legends Championship. All right, so why don't we have that for our Go Home Happy match then?
Alrighty.
We can do that.
But I'm not using one of my freebies. I'm actually paid for it.
You're actually paid for that one? All right. Of course, you wouldn't want to use a free one. You wouldn't want to give up those redeems.
I'm saving those.
All right. Next match of the evening and the main event of Wrestle Wars Genesis. And, of course, we'll have our Go Home Happy match between the Wolfman Alan Severn and the OG villain of the Archiverse, Kareem Key Woods. But first, it is JC representing the Coalition and also, of course, Team Sir Jack the Greatest taking on Humboldt's the Arcane from Team Variants of Strife. Variants of Strife is, of course, the reigning, defending undisputed men's Grand Prix Wrestling Champion. And, of course, JC is the current reigning, defending Junior World Champion, looking to challenge for the World Championship at TWA Revolution. But who do you guys think walks out the victor here? Who walks out with the W? Is it going to be JC or Humboldt's?
I'm going to go with Humboldt's.
You're going with Humboldt's on this one?
Glad we caught Dexter's
He picked up a very, very interesting victory the other night as well.
As his match starts left. I believe in
he actually fought Reese the Voice Williams. I'm trying to remember now. Was that episode 31 of YTD Live, or was it a dark match? I can't remember. But the two of them fought. No, it was YTD Dark. And it was champion versus champion. World champion versus Grand Prix champion, non-title, and Humboldt beat Reese the Voice Williams.
Yeah, Humboldt and Reese the Voice Williams had an
which is a huge win for Humboldt, by the way. All right, so who's walking out with the W here? You're going to have 10 minutes to make your bets. So get your bets in. Put your Archerverse bucks where your mouths are. And there you go. Betting lines are open. Ouvrir. Opened. Sorry, I was just trying to catch up on chat here.
And I'm actually putting 2,000 on Humboldt's.
You're putting 2,000 on Humboldt? So 2,000 guaranteed to be on Humboldt's the Arcane. Who wants to prove the lower on him? 3,000 Archerverse bucks. All right, so the betting lines are open, and here we go with the main event of Wrestle Wars Genesis. It is JC, the Junior World Champion, taking on Humboldt's the Arcane, the reigning, defending, undisputed Grand Prix Wrestling Champion. Best 2 out of 3 falls. Let's go. All right, so I'm just going to go back to talking to Mini She for a few moments. Bear with me. I'll be right back, but you do have the Great Glenola. And you've got the go-home happy match to think about. The Wolfman Alan Severn versus the OG villain of the Archerverse, Kareem Keywoods. That is going to be a fire match. Also, it will determine who challenges Elijah Archer at TWA Revolution Monday night. I'll be right back.
The following champion versus champion contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match. Making his way to the ring, representing the Coalition from Columbus, Georgia, weighing in at 219 pounds, the All-Star Junior Heavyweight Champion, JC.
You know, this person takes some pride in their work, but who could blame them?
Alrighty.
Gifted in the ring as this performer.
Wow, you are laying it on thick, Saxton. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll hear you when they watch this match 10 times.
Alright, so as it is right now, there's nothing on JC. But then if you put in 10 Archerverse bucks, if JC were to win, that'd be a hell of a payout. There's 10,800 basically on Humboldt's. So, you know, 110
Keeps his focus 100%
Archerverse bet on JC could potentially win a ton of points. Or yeah, a ton of Archerverse bucks up for grabs. And this is why I usually wait though till the betting lines are closed to make my bet.
The Hummer. We bet on Humboldt, so he will likely lose.
That's true, Barry. That's true, Strife, yeah.
Variants of Strife, he just beat Reese the Voice Williams, so maybe he is still riding a high. This guy. This fucking guy.
An old man crashed his car into a very expensive automobile. Owner of the expensive car jumps out and confronts the old man and says, "Give me $10,000 cash or I'll beat you to a pulp." Old man replies, "Well, wait a minute, buddy. I don't have that much money, but let me call my son. He trains dolphins." Man calls his son as he's about to speak. As he's about to speak, the owner of the expensive car yanks the phone out of his hand and says, "So you train dolphins? Well, your old man just hit and damaged my car. You bring me $10,000 or I'm going to beat the heck out of him and you." Son answers, "Okay, give me 15 minutes and I'll be there." In exactly 15 minutes, son pulls up in the Jeep. 10 men jump out and beat the shit out of the car owner. Meanwhile, the son walks over to his father and says, "Dad, I train Navy SEALs, not dolphins."
This one is headed outside, guys. Boom, boom, persistent barrage. Run out of ringside and back to the mat. Uh-oh, forearm gonna cut off the win. Guillotine applied. Gotta find a way out of the guillotine. They're not gonna last long while they're bridging out. Incredible. With the reversal. Big punch finds its mark. Oh, using the knee as a... He may get the 3 count right here. This is it. A defiant kick out after one.
Still has a great amount of fight in them. Not going to let it end like this.
Heads out, and he has all the time he wants. He's thinking the steel chair is just what he needs to wreak some havoc here.
Just taunting him with the chair now. Aiming to
The new
injure for
jackpot
sure.
number for a chance to win a channel redemption of your choices. 079 the number to win a YTV championship matches. 01.
Takedown, and now punches right.
Ooh, just relentless.
Cover. Is it enough? Oh, how did he get the shoulder up?
He kicked out. He actually kicked out.
To see a complete list of champions from each respective brand, simply type
Look out!
TWA,
And he'll leave the ring for
WCW,
this next stretch.
YTV into the chat.
Just continuing to dismantle their opponent.
Alright,
Welcome
return.
back.
Alright, I see I forgot to start the betting line, so thanks for starting the betting line. So far, 10,000. Oh, somebody did.
Torque on the knee and ankle.
It could have been Froggy, actually. Or Strife.
It's possible.
Probably Froggy.
But-
I can't remember. Or it could have been Sir Jack, even.
And he gets delivered back into
Anyways,
the ring.
whoever started the betting line, appreciate it. Thank you. I forgot to do so. I assume the match just got started, or no?
Face.
No, it's been going a little bit.
It has been going for a little bit? Okay. What have I missed? Good match so far? I mean, I expect a
Oh, yeah.
complete barn burner from these two, to be
And now
honest.
just rapid fire punches.
It's been a pretty decent match.
We are watching
From
from
what
the
I've seen, you
skyline.
know. Of course, I still have another 2 minutes of ads, but
Vicious stomps to the head.
Another 2 minutes of ads. Nice.
so I got just that little window in the corner.
All right, so again, that list we read was by ringthedamnbell.wordpress.com. It was the top 5 most underrated wrestlers. in their opinion. Number 5 was Bam Bam Bigelow. Number 4 was Shelton Benjamin. Number 3 was Doink the Clown. Number 2 was Kane. And, of course, last but not least was Goldust.
And we pretty well agreed on, 3 out of 5. That ain't bad.
Not too bad.
We've had much worse.
All right. Now, do we want to do the top 5 most overrated quickly?
2 Claymores.
We have this match and one final match. Oh, has there been any pinfalls or submissions yet in this matchup?
I don't know.
Let me see if it says... Yeah, it's just a quick list like the other one. We might be able to do it. We might be able to do it. All right, so this list, also by BDamage1, ringthedamnbell.wordpress.com, is the 5 most overrated wrestlers, at least according to them. Number 5, Nick Bockwinkel. It says, I may catch some heat here. Nick Bockwinkel, bland, soft-spoken, and multiple-time AWA world champ, but never a fan. While he was a great technician, so many others were also great and did it with a certain style. To me, Bockwinkel was slow, methodical, and boring. His political ways and trying to keep the title around his waist cost the AWA a guy named Hogan. We all know how that worked out. I mean, Nick Bockwinkel did go down as one of the greatest champions of all time, I think, if you were to check any list. But I do agree to a degree with what he's saying.
Yeah.
He wasn't the most entertaining fellow.
Yeah. He's got points. That's a toss-up.
Yeah, I think it would be a toss-up if you were to ask general consensus of what people think of Nick Bockwinkel. Froggy says 2 Claymores. Man, 2 Claymores have been delivered. And there's a pinfall for JC. I believe that is 1-0, is it? Is that 1-0? I think that's 1-0. All right, number 4 on the list is Randy Orton. Multiple-time world champ and third-generation star, you bet. Overrated, in my opinion, yes. At first, he was super talented. Young guy that rightfully achieved all his accolades. Wow! Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all the winner of the main event of the evening. The best 2 out of 3 falls matchup from Team Sir Jack the Greatest. Representing the Coalition, JC picks up the big win over the reigning defending Grand Prix Wrestling Champion. Congratulations to Sir Jack and JC.
And nobody bet on JC.
Nobody bet on JC at all?
So you might as well just return the bets because nobody bet on him.
All right, give me a moment while I do that. Yeah, because if I put the bet through, everybody loses their Archerverse bucks and they go to nobody. All right, so I'll just return everybody's Archerverse bucks and you guys can get in on the next betting line. Because although one has not been opened up, I'm going to open it up. I'm absolutely going to open it up.
I currently have 3.
If Archer didn't, I was.
Now 380.
All right. So a challenge was issued.
A challenge was issued.
From the Wolfpack, Horseman, and of course, everybody surrounding the Wolfman Alan Severn, who is one of the greatest Legends champions. Actually, to this point, he is the greatest Legends champion of all time. Archer is quickly contesting that, though. He is quickly contesting that. But Alan Severn wishes to dethrone Kareem Key Woods, the OG villain of the Archerverse, of his Junior Legends Championship, and slide into that spot to challenge Elijah Archer at TWA Revolution for the Legends Championship. So we're going to get that underway. I'm going to give you guys a chance to bet on this, and I'm going to start the betting right now. You're going to have 10 minutes to make your bets. Who do you guys think walks out Junior Legends champion? Alan Severn from Team Glenola or Kareem Key Woods from Team I'm Just Key?
And that was redeemed as a submission match.
Hug variants of
and again, that was the final match of the evening as far as Wrestle Wars Genesis is concerned. Main event, won by JC over the Grand Prix Wrestling Champion, Humble. So in this case, the Junior World Champion defeated the Grand Prix Wrestling Champion. All right.
Hi, guys.
Here we go. Go home happy match of the night. Now, what type of match are we going to do for this submission match? Okay. So it is a 1v1 submission matchup.
Great showing for a main event.
It is for the Junior Legends Championship.
Hell yeah.
The Wolfman Alan Severn from Team Glenola versus Team I'm Just Key's OG villain of the Archerverse, Kareem Key Woods. Junior title is on the line, and it is showtime and go time for the go home happy match of the night. Let's rock and roll.
I'm curious. I'm trying to remember how many times these two have faced each other one-on-one.
Oh, geez. Several times. I mean, they've been around since the Archerverse 1.0, so they've gone to battle many, many times. Many, many times.
You know, of course, against tons of Funk. Oh, man, that'd be too many to count.
Well, yeah.
You know.
The Wolfpack Horsemen. And what was your original...
The Outlaws.
Faction called? I always forget in the heat of the moment. The Outlaws was the original group. Yeah, that's right, in the men's division. It's funny because now all these years later we have a female faction called the Outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go, guys.
The following contest is a submission match.
A submission match for the Junior Legends Championship.
All-Star Championship.
All right, so who do you guys got winning this matchup? Get your bets in.
Archer.
Joke time. All right.
Okay. And right now, there's 13,000 on the Wolfman. There's nothing on
13,000.
Kareem Woods.
Wow, that's a big pot already, guys. You can bet 10 Archerverse bucks, 20, 50, 100, 1,000. Get your bets in. Do you think that the current reigning defending Junior Legends champion can defeat the greatest legend in the division?
Byron, as the title will be on the line here. You're right, Michael.
All right, so I have a joke time.
On social media heading into this match, we're likely to see a new champ crown.
Let's see here.
Tonight.
And normally we think about the fact that damage retention is a thing, but with the Wolfman, that doesn't seem to really make that much of a difference.
All right, here we go. Ready? Froggy Mothlegs. How do astronomers organize a party? How do astronomers organize a party, Froggy? Or anybody else that wants to jump in there? Anybody want to answer that question? How do astronomers organize a party?
Passive-aggressive emails.
Passive-aggressive emails is his response. Wow,
They
Froggy.
plan it, of course.
They do. They plan it. That is the answer. Of course it is. It has to be the answer. All right. Joke time. Redeem has been fulfilled.
Oh, man, I was hoping that you were going to do another one. Otherwise, I would have answered Blind Dog.
Blind Dog.
I don't remember the last time the champ was in this much jeopardy, Cole. Tonight might just be the night the title changes hands.
All right. Yeah, I think at this point you're right, Glenola. We're not going to have time to finish this list unless I get right to it. So here we go. So we were at Randy Orton, and he said that in his opinion he was overrated. At first, no, he was a great, super talented young guy that rightfully achieved all his accolades, yet the last few years Orton has been bland, stale, and can't decide from face to heel. Chances are that wasn't his doing, to be fair. But anyways, his character and moveset has not changed at all.
From Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 235
I mean, I don't know. Randy Orton.
I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to say he was overrated at the beginning.
Yeah,
but he
exactly.
earned it later.
Exactly. I 100% agrees. He's far from overrated. Definitely at the beginning. I mean, he came in, yeah, sure, he was super talented, but he was basically riding the coattails of his father and his grandfather. But he earned all of his accolades thereafter, though, became probably the best heel of all time. All right, so number 3 on this list is Kevin Nash. Big sexy. Great talker, giant of a man, and one of the best looks of all time, yet had a hard time drawing as champ. His early NWO stuff notwithstanding, he barely changed his career as it went on. He was also known to be political and try to keep better wrestlers away from that main event picture. All the looks and character. Not really sure what they mean by all the looks and character at the end of that there, but okay.
Again, Big Sexy proved himself more than, you know. I don't know where he gets, you know, having trouble drawing.
Yeah, he had no problem drawing. I mean, well, when he was champion, before I believe losing to Bret the Hitman Hart, I mean, he wasn't really moving many needles at that point, but I think for the most part it was because nobody was really invested in that match. Nobody was really, you know, if you want to draw, it's not just the superstars, but you got to make that storyline intriguing. You got to make, like, why are these two going to battle and why are they fighting for the title? Is it just because they're number one contender and champion and its competitive nature, or is there a story? We didn't really know. I mean, it wasn't a terrible match or anything. It just, I don't think anybody was really invested at that point. Number 2 is Virgil. I mean, I don't know how he was overrated, but anyways, let's find it. Sure, he was used in a mostly non-wrestling role throughout his career. The fact that Virgil was involved in so many main event angles and storylines is amazing. And while competent in the ring, he was also very bland and boring.
Yeah, but he also wasn't. He was bland and boring. He also treated as a mid-carder. He wasn't treated as the main event guy. He was in the corner of the main event guy.
Yeah. All right. And last but not least,
Stone Cold Noises.
number 1 on the list is the Ultimate Warrior. And it says, sure, one of the most famous names of all times, but with the exception of pinning Hulk Hogan clean at Mania 6, that was the best remembered for holding up, for holding people up, not showing up to events, wanting to work 1-minute matches, hard to get along with, probably the ultimate smoke and mirrors talent of all time. Extremely well booked, and to me, extremely overrated. I mean, okay. I don't know.
The issue with Warrior being, in the ring, yeah, he wasn't great. But the fans loved him. He was the guy that people went to see. You know, I'd say there was 3 main ones in WWF at that time. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and The Undertaker. Those were the 3 people went to watch.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I had to switch my controller.
No problem. So, you know, and they never really claimed he was that great in the ring. You know, they never said he was this technical powerhouse.
Yeah.
The guy was in there to high energy, you know, was there issues? Oh yeah, you know, but I don't know. That's a hard one. Definitely doesn't deserve to be number one.
No, I don't think he deserved to be number one. I mean, he was eventually overrated, but when he was first coming up, he was far from overrated. Did he have all those problems? Yeah. I mean, Andre the Giant had to put him in his place during the middle of a match. Right? So we know there was problems. We know there was things Warrior could have done better. But I don't know. To be the most overrated of all time? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. All right, so anyways, again, that list was by ringthedamnbell.wordpress.com. It was B Damage 1 again. And it was the most overrated wrestlers, 5 most overrated wrestlers of all time in their opinion. Number 5 was Nick Bockwinkel. Number 4 was Randy Orton. Number 3 was Kevin Nash. Number 2 was Virgil. And last but not least, it was the Ultimate Warrior.
And I can halfway agree with one of that list. So
Yeah.
we're running 50-50. One good list, one...
Yeah, I agree. That wasn't the greatest list. I thought the underrated one was good. Maybe could have swapped 1 or 2 out, but other than that, decent.
Yeah, you know, overall it was a good list. And at least he admits that it's his opinion.
He does. He does. And even in the other one, he said, you know, everything is subjective. But all right. Oh, stunner! I look up and automatically I see the Wolfman delivering a fine-ass stunner to Kareem Key Woods. Wow. I mean, I've been going over the list and keeping up with the chat, so I have not paid attention to most of this match. Oh, he tapped! He tapped! Wow! Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match and new Junior Legends champion, the leader of the Wolfpack Horsemen from Team Glenola, the Wolfman Alan Severn. Your victor and new Junior Legends champion, and will now go on to TWA Revolution Monday night to face Elijah Archer for the Legends Championship.
Wow. I was just going to say, it'll come from no shock that I was instructed to immediately announce the Wolfman was cashing it in.
The Wolfman cashing in.
People are going to be talking about this match for a long time coming.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all for episode number 518, Wrestle Wars Genesis. They certainly added some fuel to the fire. That is the road to TWA Revolution. If anybody else is not in this invasion and would like to join us while we go visit Cosmic Goat Bear, please jump in. We would appreciate it. We like to get as many people participating in our invasions as possible so that we can go show some support and love to our fellow community members and streamers. But we will see each other again live Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The next big SPV of 2023. TWA Revolution just around the corner, and we are going to rock it hard with a tremendous, absolutely fire 12 to 14, where it's not finalized yet, but 12 to 14 match event card. And it is going to be a banger all night long. Months of storylines culminating. Championships on the line. Legends titles. Pure Wrestling Championships. The World Championship. It is going to be a night to remember. The biggest show of the fall. TWA Revolution just around the corner. But it is time to invade. We're going to go see Cosmic Goat Bear. You don't have to go home. You do have to get the fuck out of my channel. Goodbye.